Chapter 1718. 1718 3 drops of absolute Saint True Dragon Blood Essence. The ice dragon rushed to the battlefield of the absolute saints. Before it even arrived, 2 ice blades shot out of its horns and slashed at the sect master of the Sky God sect. The old ice dragon of Dragon God Valley is still alive. The sect master of the Tianshan sect roared, and his face was extremely heavy. Holy light filled the air, and he continuously slashed out 2 swords of holy light, blocking the 2 ice blades. Even if you die, this old man won't die. The ice dragon roared and approached at an extreme speed. Its dragon claws grabbed at the sect masters of the Sky God sect and the Sky Demon sect. A terrifying howl rang out in the sky. Wherever the dragon claws passed, the space seemed to be frozen. The sect masters of the Tianshan sect and the Tianyu Demon sect did not dare to be careless. They used their magical powers to resist the ice dragon together. However, they were forced to retreat continuously. Their bodies were covered in a layer of ice and were almost frozen. Ice Dragon Kingdom. The ice on the Ice Dragon Patriarch's body grew stronger and stronger. In the end, it seemed to have transformed into a kingdom. Within this kingdom, countless ice dragons appeared and roared as they pounced towards the 2 sect masters. And NBSP, the 2 sect masters exploded with all their strength, but they were still completely suppressed by the ice dragon. On the other side, there were 2 less experts. The sect master of the Desire Poison sect and another absolute saint of the Deity sect were no match for the Valley Master of Cloud Dragon Valley and the Valley Master of Ice Dragon Valley. They were suppressed by the 2 and were at a disadvantage. In the sky, the battle between the absolute saints was extremely violent. After a dozen moves, the sect masters of the Tianshan sect and the Tianyu Demon sect coughed up blood and retreated. They were injured by the Ice Dragon Patriarch. Retreat! Retreat first! The sect master of the Heavenly God sect and the others roared and began to retreat. If the battle continued, it would be disadvantageous to them. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master was able to fight 2 absolute saints. The Ice Dragon Patriarch was even stronger than the Cloud Dragon Valley Master. They were no match for him. If they continued fighting, they would be in danger of dying. They retreated as they fought. All the disciples and elders of the 3 sects also retreated. Bang! But the ice dragon stomped in the air and chased after the sect master of the Tianshan sect and the Tianyu Demon sect. With every step it took, terrifying ice would fall like meteorites. Although the 2 of them tried their best to resist, they still spat out large mouthfuls of blood and their faces turned pale. Dragon God Valley, you're going to make the world your enemy. Let's see how long you can protect Lu Ming. The sect master of the Sky Demons sect howled. Her hair was disheveled, and she looked like a crazy woman. A terrifying demonic light burst out from her body. In the end, she self-detonated several great saint weapons and rushed out of the Ice Dragon Ancestor's attack range. The sect master of the Tianshan sect followed closely behind her. The 2 of them were far away in an instant. The other powerhouses also flew at high speed and fled quickly. In the blink of an eye, they disappeared from the sphere of influence. The experts of Dragon God Valley didn't pursue. Don't chase after a cornered enemy. If the other party went crazy and fought back with all their might, they would also be injured. The disciples of Dragon God Valley heaved a sigh of relief after the people of the 3 major sects had left. The 3 major sects, including the Tianshan sect, were extremely powerful among the many forces in the Azure region. Each sect was not weaker than the Dragon God Valley. If the 3 major sects joined forces, the Dragon God Valley would be no match for them. If the legendary Ice Dragon Ancestor had not appeared, they would have been in real danger. All disciples, clean up the battlefield and guard the place. Let's go! The master of Ice Dragon Valley gave the order, glancing at the people of Silver Dragon Valley who were hiding at the back with cold eyes. This Lu Ming is really lucky. He's fine even after this. The Valley Master of Silver Dragon Valley did not notice the Valley Master of Ice Dragon's gaze. His eyes were fixed on Lu Ming, and a cold glint flashed in his eyes. Greetings, Ice Dragon Ancestor, Patriarch Ice Dragon. The Valley Masters of Ice Dragon Valley, Cloud Dragon Valley, and the others bowed to the Ice Dragon Patriarch. The Ice Dragon Patriarch twisted his body and turned into a burly old man. He waved his hand and said, "No need." Then he looked at Lu Ming and took a step forward. He appeared in front of Lu Ming and sized him up curiously. Junior Lu Ming greets the Ice Dragon Patriarch. Lu Ming bowed to the Ice Dragon Patriarch. "Hi, you're not bad, kid. Come with me." Then, without saying anything else, he walked toward the great snow mountain in the depths of Dragon God Valley. Lu Ming was stunned. Why was the Ice Dragon Patriarch looking for him? "Ming or go?" The voice of the Cloud Dragon Valley Master rang in Lu Ming's ears. Lu Ming nodded and followed the Ice Dragon Patriarch in the air. The two of them, one in front and one behind, headed deep into the snow mountain. In the depths of Dragon God Valley, there were vast and endless snow mountains. The two of them crossed dozens of snow mountains before the Ice Dragon Patriarch finally stopped at a random snow mountain. Lu Ming landed beside the Ice Dragon Patriarch and did not say anything. "Your spirit body should be the 9 dragons combat body, right?" said the Ice Dragon Patriarch. The 9 dragons combat body was the Dragon God combat body. "That's right. The bloodline I awakened was the bloodline of the 9 dragons." Lu Ming nodded. "The bloodline of the 9 dragons should be able to evolve continuously until you reach the upper-class heavenly spiritual body. I can see that your blood chi is strong and will evolve soon. They'll give you 3 drops of blood essence to help you." A jade bottle appeared in the Ice Dragon Patriarch's hand and he handed it to Lu Ming. Lu Ming took the bottle instinctively. He opened it and found 3 drops of blood essence in the bottle. They were like dazzling blood diamonds, exuding a terrifying dragon's might. There was even a small dragon circling the surface of the blood essence. "This is..." Lu Ming's eyes were filled with shock. He could sense the aura of an absolute saint from the 3 drops of blood essence. These were 3 drops of blood essence of the holy true dragon. The spiritual essence of the true dragon blood was definitely more abundant than that of the Dragon Valley. These 3 drops of blood were priceless. "Many thanks for Senior's generous gift." Lu Ming thanked him sincerely. "You're welcome. I obtained these 3 drops of blood essence by accident. They're not of much use to me now. You can take them. Well, take good care of Xuanixin in the future," said the Ice Dragon Patriarch. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. It seemed like the relationship between the Ice Dragon Patriarch and Xuanixin was not simple. An ice dragon and a snow dragon. Forefather. At this moment, Lu Ming opened his mouth and a storage ring appeared in his hand. "Old ancestor, today's battle was all because of me. This storage ring is Emperor Tsong's storage ring. I will hand it over to you now. You can distribute it to the entire Dragon God Valley as you wish. This war was all because of him." Moreover, Lu Ming had a feeling that this matter would not end so easily. He could not bear to implicate the entire Dragon God Valley. Since he could not open the storage ring of Emperor Tsong, he might as well give it up to enhance the strength of Dragon God Valley. "The ring of Emperor Tsong? You can keep it. This is your own opportunity. Dragon God Valley will not deprive any disciple of his opportunity. Depriving a disciple of his opportunity is the same as depriving him of his potential. How can he give birth to a peerless master?" The Ice Dragon Patriarch waved his hand and continued, "However, this ring has Emperor Tsong's imprint on it. I'm afraid that even if I attack, I won't be able to break the imprint in a short period of time. Keep it for now and you'll be able to break it by yourself in the future." Since the Ice Dragon Patriarch had said so, Lu Ming did not say anything more and kept Emperor Tsong's storage ring. "Go, little guy. I look forward to your growth." The Ice Dragon Patriarch waved his hand. Lu Ming bowed to the Ice Dragon Patriarch and left. Chapter 1719 Spirit Body Evolution, Chaos Finger of Tribulation. Lu Ming returned to the Cloud Dragon Valley and entered the mountain and river diagram. He began to cultivate in seclusion, planning to refine 3 drops of the true dragon blood essence. Now, the key was to continuously improve his strength. If Lu Ming's spirit body could evolve again, his strength would definitely soar. Lu Ming sat down cross-legged and took out a drop of true dragon blood essence. The blood essence exuded a powerful absolute saint's pressure, causing Lu Ming's skin to sting. Swallow. Lu Ming unleashed his devouring power and enveloped the drop of blood essence. He began to devour the spiritual essence in the blood essence and fused it into his body. 3 days later, the drop of blood essence was completely refined. Lu Ming took out another drop. Just like that, 9 days later, the 3 drops of blood essence had been completely refined. The energy had fused into Lu Ming's body. Lu Ming's accumulation had reached its limit. A dragon roar shook the 9 heavens. Above Lu Ming's head in the sky, a huge dragon appeared. It circled in the sky and roared continuously. At this moment, Lu Ming's body was emitting a dazzling radiance. His muscles were squirming as if there were small dragons swimming in his body. Lu Ming's body was undergoing a transformation. His bone armor was constantly becoming stronger. It was a few hundred to 1,000 times tougher than a Vajra. His muscles were full of elasticity, and once they exploded, they had earth-shattering power. His blood was filled with powerful life force and was extremely robust. Lu Ming's physical body became stronger and stronger. Like a divine dragon, his every move was indestructible. After a moment, the 9 dragons in the sky rushed into Lu Ming's body and disappeared. Lu Ming then opened his eyes. I've successfully evolved. A medium-grade heavenly spiritual body. Lu Ming revealed a smile. He had a medium-grade celestial spiritual body. Moreover, Lu Ming's body had refined a trace of chaotic qi. The strength of his spirit body was not weaker than that of a high-grade celestial spiritual body. The evolution of the spirit body had increased Lu Ming's combat strength tremendously. Now, if he were to face an expert like Mo Kong again, he would be able to destroy Mo Kong's divine art with one move and kill him with one punch. With a thought, Lu Ming walked out of the mountain and river diagram. After 10 days of seclusion, Lu Ming wanted to find out how the situation in the Azure region was. Sure enough, he found out an important piece of information. The Tianshan sect, the Tianyu demonic sect, and the Yudu sect announced to the world that they were inviting all the other forces in the Azure continent to form an alliance in the Tianyu demonic sect in a month's time. They would destroy the Dragon God Valley and force Lu Ming to hand over the inheritance and treasures of Emperor Tsong. When this news came out, the entire Azure continent was shaken. For a time, the winds and clouds in the Azure region changed, as if a storm was brewing. Of the various powers in the Azure continent, there were some who maintained a neutral stance and were observing from the sidelines. Some forces were already on their way to the Tianyu demon sect. Alliance. Lu Ming's eyes were very cold. What a ruthless method. He wanted to unite the many powerful forces of the Azure continent to destroy Dragon God Valley. As for why he was at the Tianyu demon sect, it was because the Tianyu demon sect was the closest to Dragon God Valley. Once he made a move, he would be able to reach Dragon God Valley very quickly. In the Dragon God Valley, people were in a state of panic. Yin Zheng even secretly sent people to sow discord. For a time, the people of Dragon God Valley were stirred up. The voices of handing over Lu Ming became louder and louder. If it weren't for the Valley Master's full suppression and the Ice Dragon Patriarch's personal appearance, the situation would have been better. 1 month later, Lu Ming clenched his fists tightly and returned to his cave abode to continue his closed-door cultivation. It's time to practice the Chaos Finger. Lu Ming planned to start cultivating the Divine Power technique. And NBSP now, his Chaos laws had a corresponding divine ability that he could cultivate. However, the Array Dao laws did not have the corresponding sacred art, so he could only look for it in the future. Lu Ming sat cross-legged under the path understanding ancient tree, meditating on the finger of calamity of chaos. The difficulty of cultivating a sacred art was astonishingly high. This could be seen from the fact that most of the bright saints in the Azure continent had not succeeded in cultivating it. In the Azure continent, only supreme saints were able to successfully cultivate it. Moreover, the power of a divine ability varied greatly according to the temperature. Mo Kong's sacred art was only at 10% completion and he had just started. Of course, for sacred art techniques, every 10% or even 5% difference in maturity would result in a huge difference in power. For example, 20% would be several times stronger than 10%. If he cultivated it to 100%, its power would be earth-shattering. However, many absolute saints couldn't cultivate a technique to 100% completion. This was because cultivating divine powers was also a process of comprehending the laws. Divine powers and laws complemented each other. When cultivating a sacred art, it could increase one's comprehension of the laws. The stronger one's comprehension of the laws, the stronger the sacred art. Cultivating divine powers could greatly speed up one's comprehension of the laws. If one cultivated a divine power to 100%, it meant that one had comprehended the law to its peak and had completely mastered it. In this way, he could use a complete set of nomological laws as a foundation to evolve a small world and attempt to break through to the martial emperor realm. From this, one could see how difficult it was to cultivate a divine power to 100%. Time passed quickly. In the blink of an eye, another 20 days had passed. The day of the alliance with the Tianshan sect was getting closer and closer. Sigh, I still haven't succeeded. Lu Ming sighed under the path-understanding ancient tree. After more than 20 days, he still hadn't succeeded in cultivating the primal chaos tribulation finger. He hadn't even reached the beginner level. A remarkable power technique was indeed difficult to cultivate. Furthermore, it was a remarkable power technique that used the chaos laws as its foundation. The difficulty of cultivating it was even more difficult. Of course, once it was successfully cultivated, its power would definitely be shocking. I'm still too anxious. I'm too eager for quick success. The harder it is to succeed, the more I should relax. Lu Ming let out a breath of turbid air and exited the mountain and river diagram. He planned to go out for a walk or give Xiang some guidance on her cultivation. Lu Ming strolled among the Cloud Dragon Valley Master. A cold wind blew, and Lu Ming's anxious mood slowly calmed down. However, at this moment, Lu Ming's expression changed. He took out a voice transmission jade talisman and looked at it. It was Qiu Ying who had sent him a voice transmission. She sounded very anxious, as if something big had happened. Lu Ming took a step forward and headed towards the entrance of Cloud Dragon Valley. Sure enough, at the entrance of Cloud Dragon Valley, he saw Qiu Ying anxiously pacing back and forth. Ying, what happened? Lu Ming asked directly. Lu Ming, please save my big brother. At the sight of Lu Ming, tears welled up in Qiu Ying's eyes as if she was about to cry. What's wrong, brother Qiu? Lu Ming asked. My big brother is now in the Sunset Mountains. He's being chased by Mo Yang of the Tianyu demonic sect. Qiu Ying said anxiously. The Sunset Mountains? You're being chased by Mo Yang. Let's go, we'll talk as we walk. Lu Ming waved his hand and the saint energy enveloped Qiu Ying. He took Qiu Ying into the air and flew out of Dragon God Valley. The Luoxia mountain range was located in the middle of the Dragon God Valley and the Tianyu demon sect. However, it was closer to the Dragon God Valley. Lu Ming flew toward the Luoxia mountain range at top speed. On the way, Qiu Ying explained the entire situation. Mo Yang's palm landed on the young woman's face, and a palm print immediately appeared. The young woman's body began to struggle violently. Mo Yang's eyes burned with a fiery light. The evil fire in his eyes grew stronger as he stared at the young woman and said coldly, You bitch, as Xian Yanking's maidservant, you actually look like her. Although you're not as pretty as that bitch, you can still play with her, huh? Animal, let her go, let her go. Mo Yang. Qiu Hao cried out, his eyes filled with rage. He wanted nothing more than to burn Mo Yang into ashes. Bush, bush, bush. Mo Yang waved his hand, and beams of demonic light pierced through Qiu Hao's limbs, pinning him to the ground. He said coldly, You piece of trash, how dare you seduce the disciple of my Tianyu demon sect? Now I'll let you watch. Watch as I play with the person you love. Ha! As Mo Yang spoke, he became even more excited. He reached out his palm and reached out to the young woman. The two old men looked on coldly, as if they were already used to it. They were Mo Yang's trusted aides, and this was not the first time Mo Yang had done something like this. They had seen it many times. Qiu Hao, we'll meet again in our next life. The young woman looked at Qiu Hao sadly, and her tears flowed down like a broken string of pearls. Bitch, what are you doing? Die. Mo Yang also sensed that something was wrong and roared. However, it was already too late. A layer of green chi spread across the young woman's face and quickly covered her entire body. In just a few breaths, the young woman's life force was completely extinguished. Bitch, you hid a poison pill in your mouth. Die. Mo Yang roared. The young woman had actually hidden a poison pill in her mouth. At the critical moment, she bit through the poison pill. It was a terrifying poison, and in an instant, the young woman's life was extinguished. Mo Yang was extremely displeased. His mood, which he had finally managed to get, had been interrupted just like that. He casually threw the young woman's body to the side. Jia Jia. Chiu Hao roared, his eyes bloodshot. I'll leave this kid to you. Make him regret being born into this world. Mo Yang instructed an old man. Yes, don't worry, young master. He will become a dog very soon. One of the old men smiled eerily and walked towards Chiu Hao. However, at this moment, a terrifying sound pierced through the air. A black bolt of lightning shot towards the old man at an astonishing speed. The old man's body trembled instinctively. He wanted to dodge, but it was too late. Puchi. A long black spear pierced through the old man's dantian, sliding him on the ground for thousands of meters, leaving a deep ditch on the ground. The old man's eyes were wide open as he stared at the sky in front of him. There were two young figures stepping on the air. One of them was a young man with long hair that fluttered in the wind. The killing intent he exuded was so terrifying that it made people feel as if they had entered the winter. Lu Ming. The old man spat out these two words with great difficulty. Then, his head tilted to the side and he breathed his last. The figures of the young man and woman were naturally Lu Ming and Chiu Ying. Big brother. When Chiu Ying saw Chiu Hao's miserable state, she cried out in shock, tears welling up in her eyes. Lu Ming, it's you? No. Mo Yang screamed in horror, his face pale. Chapter 1721. 1721 How do you want to die? Lu Ming's gaze was very cold, extremely cold. A shocking murderous intent burst out from his body. He could guess the situation at the scene with just a glance. Mo Yang, no one will be able to save you today. Lu Ming said coldly and stepped forward. You, block him, die. Mo Yang roared, and his figure charged forward like lightning. The other elder would not be so foolish as to stop Lu Ming. Back then, outside Dragon God Valley, Lu Ming had displayed terrifying combat strength. The bright saint was invincible. If he went up, he would only be courting death. He turned and ran in another direction. Lu Ming would definitely chase after Mo Yang first. That way, he would be able to escape. None of you can escape, Lu Ming said coldly. He clenched his fist in the air, and a terrifying devouring power burst out. As his spirit body evolved, his devouring power also became stronger. The devouring power enveloped Mo Yang and the old man at the same time. Their bodies were subjected to a terrifying gravitational force. Not only were they unable to fly forward, but they were also forced to retreat. How could this be? Fly. You're courting death, Mo Yang roared. He was so scared that his guts were about to split apart. He tried his best to fly forward, but his body was retreating faster and faster. The old man was the same. He couldn't even fly out with his Saint Realm cultivation. He was extremely shocked. Very soon, the two of them retreated to a spot not far from Lu Ming. Spare me. I didn't do anything. It was all Mo Yang's doing. The old man roared, betraying the old man. You, Mo Yang glared at the old man. You're all jackals of the same lair, you'll die. Lu Ming waved his hand. His holy power was like a knife, cutting the elder into two. His soul was destroyed at the same time. A saint in the initial bright saint realm was completely helpless in Lu Ming's hands. At this time, Chiu Ying had already pulled out the demonic chi blade from Chiu Hao's body. Chiu Hao crawled to the young lad's side and hugged her body like a fool. This made Lu Ming's gaze turn even colder. A cold, killing intent enveloped Mo Yang, and his eyes revealed a look of fear. So, how do you want to die? Finally, Lu Ming's gaze fell on Mo Yang. Lu Ming, you can't kill me. There are so many powerful forces in the Sky Demon Sect Alliance. If you kill me, not only will you die, but all your family and friends will die as well. Mo Yang roared. Lu Ming flicked his finger, and a beam of saint energy shot into Mo Yang's crotch, blasting it into pieces. Mo Yang let out a shrill scream, tears and snot flowing down his face. Even now, you're still threatening me. What a joke. Lu Ming said indifferently. Lu Ming, kill me if you can. Let me tell you, Xian Yanqing is dead too. You will never get her. You're too naive. Mo Yang laughed like a madman. He seemed to know that he wouldn't be able to live, so he decided to go all out. Lu Ming's heart trembled and his eyes emitted a terrifying light. Speak, what's wrong with little Qing? What did you do to her? Lu Ming, I won't tell you. The next time you see her, she's no longer her. She might even kill you. Mo Yang laughed. Speak, what happened? Lu Ming's voice was even colder. He had a bad feeling in his heart. He had already felt that something was wrong with Xian Yanqing. The first time he went to the Tianyu demonic sect, he was hunted down on his way back. The second time he went, he didn't even see Xian Yanqing. Lu Ming, just kill me. Just kill me. I won't tell you. Mo Yang laughed heartily. He had gone all out. Do you think I can't do anything if you don't tell me? You'll know if I search your soul. Lu Ming said coldly. With a flash, he appeared in front of Mo Yang. He extended his hand and sealed Mo Yang's cultivation. Don't. Mo Yang was finally afraid. He struggled with all his might. However, his cultivation had been sealed. How could he struggle? Lu Ming stretched out his finger and touched Mo Yang's glabella. Mo Yang's body immediately stiffened, as if he had become a fool. Lu Ming activated his secret skill. His soul force seeped into Mo Yang's soul and he began to search his soul. However, right at this moment, a terrifying destructive force suddenly burst out near Mo Yang's soul. It wanted to destroy Lu Ming and Mo Yang's soul together. Mo Yang's soul is actually under a restriction. It seems like there's a big secret. Lu Ming's heart stirred. It was obvious that someone was afraid that Mo Yang's soul would be searched and his secret would be leaked. Thus, they had set up a seal around Mo Yang's soul. Once Mo Yang's soul was searched, the seal would be activated and destroy his soul. Once his soul was destroyed, Mo Yang would become an idiot. Naturally, he would not be able to find anything. It was very likely that it was a restriction left behind by Mo Yang's master, the sect master of the Sky Demon Sect. Array Dao. Lu Ming growled and activated the Array Dao law. Countless runes filled the air and enveloped the destructive power, trying to seal it. However, the destructive force was very powerful. It kept destroying the runes that Lu Ming's Array Dao laws had turned into. If this went on, Lu Ming would not be able to hold on for long. Bubble! Lu Ming called out. Bubbles appeared and he cast the space-time law, which seeped into Mo Yang's body and enveloped the destructive energy. This temporarily blocked the destructive energy. I have to hurry up. Lu Ming cast the soul-searching art. Instantly, a series of vivid images appeared before his eyes. Suddenly, an image caught Lu Ming's attention. Lu Ming's vision seemed to have transformed into Mo Yang's as he followed a beautiful middle-aged woman down a passage. The beautiful middle-aged woman was the sect master of the Sky Demon Sect. After walking through the dark passage, they came to an underground cave. In the underground cave, there was a beautiful woman sitting cross-legged, motionless. Her whole body was shrouded in demonic qi. Little Qing. Lu Ming's heart trembled. That peerless woman was Xian Yanqing. And NBSP Hu. In this underground cave, a blood-red mist filled the air. At this time, this blood-red mist gathered together and formed a huge face. It looked like an extremely old woman. Have you brought the materials? The giant face opened its mouth, and its voice echoed in the underground cave. I've brought it. The Grandmaster of the Sky Demon Sect took out a jade bottle, from which a few figures flew out. Lu Ming's heart trembled. That figure was clearly the soul of a sage. The giant face opened its mouth and sucked the souls into its mouth. It revealed an expression of enjoyment before speaking in a sharp voice. It's still not enough. I'm still lacking a little. Hurry up and find me more souls. When I recover a certain amount of soul power, I can use this girl's body to be reborn. Hee, this girl has a great opportunity. Not only did she obtain the world core of an emperor-level master, but her body also contains a terrifying power. If I use her body to be reborn, not only will my cultivation be fully restored, but I will also be able to reach a higher level. Chapter 1722, 1722 Chapter 1722 Shocking secret. The giant face let out a sharp laugh and twisted continuously. It was very strange. Lu Ming could clearly feel Mo Yang's body trembling slightly, as if he was very afraid. Blood Demon King, don't forget what you promised me. The Tianyu demonic sect said. Don't worry. When evil spirit religion rises again, they'll definitely have a way to help you step into the martial emperor realm. The giant face laughed. Boom, boom, boom. A thunderous voice rang out in Lu Ming's mind. How could he not understand what was going on now? In the depths of the Tianyu demonic sect, there was a Dharma king of evil spirit. She seemed to want to use Xian Yanqing's body to be reborn, which meant that she wanted to possess Xian Yanqing. Lu Ming's heart was filled with endless anger. He was lying when he said that Xian Yanqing was in seclusion. Damn it! Lu Ming roared in his heart. He slowly forced himself to calm down and continued to read. Next, he saw a few images in succession. Suddenly, many people who did not look like they were from the Tianyu demonic sect appeared on the screen. The Intentionless Saber Sect. It's the people of the Intentionless Saber Sect. After taking a closer look, Lu Ming realized that these were actually people from the Intentionless Saber Sect. The Intentionless Saber Sect was actually hidden within the Tianyu Demon Sect. Without a doubt, the Tianyu demonic sect had also joined evil spirit. At that moment, the destructive power was getting more and more violent. It directly broke through the obstruction of the array Dao laws. Even the space-time laws could not stop it and were slowly broken through. A wisp of Lu Ming's soul immediately retreated from Mo Yang's soul. Then, the power of destruction drowned Mo Yang's soul. Mo Yang held his head and screamed madly. He seemed to be in extreme pain as he struggled on the ground. After a while, Mo Yang finally stopped struggling and passed out. It was obvious that Mo Yang's soul had been destroyed. Even if he woke up, he would still be an idiot. Little Qing. Lu Ming clenched his fists tightly, his eyes filled with a shocking murderous intent. According to the contents of the soul search, Xian Yanqing should still be fine and not possessed. However, the situation was ever-changing, and no one knew what would happen next. Every day that Xian Yanqing stayed in the Tianyu demon sect was an extra day of danger. He had to save Xian Yanqing. It seemed that he had to take a break into the Tianyu demonic sect. His cultivation was not enough, but he had the reincarnation halberd. He might have a chance. Taking a deep breath, Lu Ming calmed himself down and walked to Qiu Ying and Qiu Hao's side. Qiu Hao was still holding onto the young lattice body like an idiot. Lu Ming heaved a long sigh. It was a pity that they were one step too late. Otherwise, such a thing would not have happened. Ying, let's bring your big brother back to Dragon God Valley. Lu Ming said. Qiu Ying nodded, and then softly said, Brother, let's go back to Dragon God Valley first. Miss Jia has passed away. We have to bury her. That's right, Brother Qiu, you have to pull yourself together. Lu Ming said. Qiu Hao nodded and picked up the young lattice body before standing up. Although he had been severely injured, it was not a fatal injury. His martial emperor spiritual body was strong and his recovery ability was extremely strong. He could already move. Brother Lu, thank you. Qiu Hao glanced at Lu Ming, then carried the young lattice body and walked forward. None of you can escape. At this moment, a voice came from the distance. Boom, boom, boom. With a terrifying sound, a silver light streaked across the sky and approached at a terrifying speed. Before the sound even faded, the silver light had already arrived. The silver light dispersed, and a figure appeared. Yin Zheng. Lu Ming's pupils constricted and his eyes narrowed slightly. It was Yin Zheng, the master of Silver Dragon Valley. Yin Zheng, you're following me. Lu Ming said coldly. I'm only sending people to keep an eye on you. Yin Zheng said coldly. He swept his gaze across the scene and his eyes landed on Lu Ming. Lu Ming, hand over Emperor Song's legacy and treasures. Yin Zheng, you followed me without permission and wanted me to hand over Emperor Song's treasures and inheritance. Aren't you afraid that my master will find out? Lu Ming said. The master of Silver Dragon Valley sneered but didn't say anything. Or, after I give you Emperor Song's inheritance and treasures, you can kill us to silence us? Lu Ming said again. You don't have a choice today. Yin Zheng's voice was cold. Is that so? I choose not to say. Lu Ming said. If you don't tell me, you'll all die. I'll torture these two in front of you, step by step, so that they can't die. If you still don't tell me, I'll have to learn from you and search your soul. The master of Silver Dragon Valley said. Lu Ming's expression darkened. Yin Zheng, as the master of a valley, how could you treat a disciple of Dragon God Valley like this? How despicable! Lu Ming said. Cut the crap and hand it over. Yin Zheng shouted, greed flashing in his eyes. At this moment, Lu Ming waved his hand and a white light flashed, keeping Qiu Ying and Qiu Hao into the mountain and river diagram. Then, Lu Ming used the thundering wind steps and dashed out like lightning. If you want to leave, then stay. A silver light flashed on Yin Zheng's body. He flew out like a silver dragon and caught up with Lu Ming in an instant. He threw a punch and a silver dragon flew out, pouncing toward Lu Ming with terrifying power. Buzz. Bubbles, who was on Lu Ming's shoulder, opened a space-time tunnel and Lu Ming stepped in. Space-time law? Yin Zheng was shocked at first. Then, he roared and pushed his palms out with an overwhelming force. A huge silver dragon flew out with its fangs and claws bared. The dragon's claws grabbed the space-time tunnel. The space-time tunnel gave off a terrifying vibration and then exploded with a bang. Lu Ming had not crossed a long distance before he was directly shaken out of the space-time tunnel. Yin Zheng was too strong. He was an expert even among the great saints and his cultivation base was close to an absolute saint. On the other hand, Bubbles hadn't broken through to the saint realm. Although the space-time laws were profound, they were far inferior to Yin Zheng's. The space-time tunnel was destroyed by Yin Zheng in an instant. Is this the legendary space-time spirit mouse? Lu Ming, you're really blessed. No, it should be me who's blessed because all of this will be mine soon. Yin Zheng laughed loudly, extremely pleased with himself. Master, Valley Master. Lu Ming suddenly looked behind Yin Zheng and bowed slightly. Lu Ming, do you think I will believe such a low-level trick? Yin Zheng sneered. Lu Ming wanted to divert his attention and escape. How was that possible? Now, hurry up and hand over Emperor Song's inheritance and treasures. Otherwise, you will die a miserable death. You should be well aware that whether you hand them over or not, you are dead. If you hand them over, I will let you suffer less pain. Yin Zheng continued. I think you're the one who's dead. A cold voice was heard. It did not come from Lu Ming but from behind Yin Zheng. Yin Zheng's body stiffened when he heard the voice. Chapter 1723. 1723 Chapter 1723 Kill. If you want. Yin Zheng's body stiffened, and his face turned green and white. His eyes were filled with disbelief, and he slowly turned around. Not far away, two old men were looking at Yin Zheng with cold eyes. Yin Zheng's face instantly turned pale. The two old men were the Valley Masters of Cloud Dragon Valley and Ice Dragon Valley. Yin Zheng, I'm really disappointed in you. Ice Dragon Valley Master sighed. What's there to say to him? If I don't kill him today, he'll bring endless disasters. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master's face no longer had a gentle smile. Instead, it was filled with cold killing intent. Buzz. The sound of a sword rang out as the Cloud Dragon Valley Master stepped out. The terrifying sword power pressed towards Yin Zheng. Yin Zheng, what are you doing? You want to kill me? I'm the master of the Silver Dragon Valley, and my status is on par with yours. You're not qualified to kill me. Yin Zheng shouted. Laughable. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master's voice was cold as he slashed out with his sword. The vast sword power caused Yin Zheng's expression to change. He gritted his teeth and instantly rushed towards Lu Ming, wanting to take him hostage. However, the Cloud Dragon Valley Master would not let him have his way. He changed the direction of his sword and slashed between Yin Zheng and Lu Ming. The terrifying sword power sent Yin Zheng flying while Lu Ming was unscathed. Buzz! The Cloud Dragon Valley Master took a step forward and appeared in front of Lu Ming. Once again he swung his sword. Blood splattered in all directions, and Yin Zheng was almost cut in half. A terrifying wound appeared on his body, and he spat out a large mouthful of blood. His face was filled with horror. "Valley Master, save me. Save me. I, the Valley Master of Silver Dragon Valley, have been giving my all for Dragon God Valley. I have made so many contributions over the years. You can't just watch me get killed." Yin Zheng cried out and begged the Master of Ice Dragon Valley. "Yin Zheng, I've never seen you spare no effort in all these years. You're too selfish and devoted to yourself. Everything you do is for your disciples, your descendants, and yourself. You even abuse your power to seize the opportunities of other Valley disciples. The other Valley Masters have mentioned it to me many times and I've given you many chances, but you're unrepentant." Ice Dragon Valley Master sighed. "No, there's no such thing. Slander, it's pure slander." Yin Zheng shouted and quickly denied. "Slander? Then why did you ask Silver Dragon Valley to hide in the back during the war with the three sects?" Ice Dragon Valley Master continued. "That's not worth it. Is it worth it for Lu Ming, an ant from a deserted island? Is it worth it to fight to the death for him? Who does he think he is? My attitude has always been to hand him over and ease the relationship with the Heavenly God sect. Also, the reason why I asked Lu Ming to hand over Emperor Tsong's inheritance and treasures was also because of this. I didn't do it for myself. I wanted to give it to other sects to appease their anger. This way, I can protect Dragon God Valley. Valley Master, everything I did was for the sake of Dragon God Valley. Heaven and earth can bear witness to this." Yin Zheng quibbled, just short of a nose and a tear. He directly pushed away everything that he had done just now and said that he had done it for the sake of Dragon God Valley. Lu Ming sneered. This old man was indeed more cunning than a fox. "This, and NB's Ice Dragon Valley Master muttered. And NBSP, the Valley Master of Silver Dragon, saw the hesitation on Ice Dragon's face and was ecstatic. He thought that he was saved and was about to say more. Pucci. A long sword pierced through his dantian from behind, shattering his saint heart. Yin Zheng let out a shrill scream and turned around madly, looking at the Cloud Dragon Valley Master in disbelief. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master had actually made a move and destroyed his saint heart in one move. Once his saint heart was destroyed, he would be a cripple. Even if he didn't die, it would be worse than death. "You?" And NBSP Yin Zheng's eyes popped out, filled with unwillingness. He had already persuaded the Ice Dragon Valley Master, but he hadn't expected that the Cloud Dragon Valley Master would not play by the rules. So much nonsense. "If I say I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you," the Cloud Dragon Valley Master said indifferently. With a wave of his hand, his sword aura burst forth, and Yin Zheng's body was reduced to ashes. "You believed his clumsy nonsense?" And NBSP Cloud Dragon Valley Master waved his hand, and the sword flew back into his hand. He then gave Ice Dragon Valley Master an unhappy look. "It's not that I believe him, it's just that we've been fellow disciples for so many years, so I can't bear to see him like this." And Ice Dragon Valley Master bitterly smiled. "Valley Master, why have you come here?" Lu Ming cupped his fists and asked curiously. "Yin Zheng, this guy, he's always acting sneaky, he definitely doesn't have any good intentions. Senior brother and I just happened to be going out for some business, and when we saw Yin Zheng going out as well, we followed him along the way. I didn't expect him to actually have ideas about you, he's really looking for death. Originally, we didn't have a reason to kill him, but now it's time to behead him," the Cloud Dragon Valley Master said. Lu Ming nodded and asked, "Master, you said you were going out. What's the matter? Aren't the other sects forming an alliance in the Tianyu Demon sect? Let's go and join in the fun. We can't just sit and wait for our deaths." The Cloud Dragon Valley Master said. The Tianyu Demon Sect. Master, Valley Master, when I searched Mo Yang's soul earlier, I discovered a huge secret. Lu Ming raised his eyebrows. Then, Lu Ming told him about the blood demon Shakyamuni and the intentionless saber sect. What? The Tianyu demonic sect has actually sided with evil spirit, and they've even hidden a Dharma king and people from the intentionless saber sect. And NBSB what? Ice Dragon Valley Master was shocked. Just in time. Just in time, we can break their alliance. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master's eyes lit up and he laughed. Ming, you should return to Dragon God Valley first. Well, set off for the Tianyu Demon Sect now. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master continued. Master, I want all of you to come with me. Lu Ming said. No, it's too dangerous for you to go. There are many experts in the Tianyu Demon Sect now. If the war starts, even I can't protect you. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master waved his hand and refused. Master, I've obtained a treasure in the 100 Clan battlefield that's enough for me to protect myself. I also have a plan that, if successful, can split the other party's alliance. Let's go, Lu Ming said. He then told her his plan. You can really protect yourself? Cloud Dragon Valley Master asked again. When he received an affirmative answer from Lu Ming, he nodded and said, All right, well, carry out your plan then. Master, please wait a moment. I have to send Yingying and the others back to Dragon God Valley first. Lu Ming said. Well, bring you back with us. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master said. Lu Ming nodded and then kept Mo Yang into the mountain and river diagram. Mo Yang would be indispensable in his future plans. As for the corpses of the two saints, Lu Ming burned them to ashes. Then, the Valley Masters of Cloud Dragon Valley and Ice Dragon Valley brought Lu Ming back to Dragon God Valley. After releasing Qiu Yingying and her sister, the two Valley Masters took Lu Ming in the direction of the Sky Demon Sect. Master, Valley Master, with just the three of us, I'm afraid we don't have enough manpower. Lu Ming said. The three of us are obviously not enough. There are still others. They'll bring you to them later. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master smiled. Chapter 1724 Chapter 1724 Killing his way to Tianyu Demon Sect. On a tall and handsome mountain peak, Lu Ming saw three figures standing against the wind. The Ice Dragon Patriarch, the head of the Life and Death Sword Sect, and the Lord of Demon Castle. Lu Ming's eyes lit up. The relationship between the Life and Death Sword Sect, Demon Castle, and Dragon God Valley was very good, especially the Demon Castle, which had a close relationship with the Ice Dragon Patriarch. It was not surprising that the three sects stood together. This way, there were 5 absolute saints. The Ice Dragon Patriarch, Cloud Dragon Valley Master, and the Life and Death Sword Sect leader were more powerful than normal absolute saints. This was a terrifying power. Why did you guys bring this little guy here? The Demon Castle Lord's eyes were like 2 suns as he looked at Lu Ming. It's like this. The Valley Master told him about the situation that Lu Ming had learned from Mo Yang's soul search, as well as Lu Ming's plan. So, the Tianyu Demon Sect is also a remnant of evil spirit. I've long guessed that there are other sects that are remnants of evil spirit, but I didn't expect it to be the Tianyu Demon Sect. The Demon Castle Lord's body emitted a golden light, and his voice was cold. It's a good time to reveal the truth this time. Perhaps we can catch all the evil spirit remnants. The sect leader's voice was also very cold. Then, they discussed the details and waited quietly. 3 days later, many sects would gather at the Tianyu Demonic Sect to form an alliance. The Tianyu Demonic Sect was bustling with activity. This time, 6 of the 12 top-tier sects of the Azure Continent had gathered on the Sky Demon Sect's Demon Mountain. The Tianyu Demonic Sect, Yudu Sect, Tianshan Sect, Evil Moon Sect, Blood Demon Tower, and Jiuxiao Sword Sect. As for the Sky King Palace, Linglong Palace, and Piyuan family, the 3 major forces chose to remain neutral and watch. No one came forward. As for the Life and Death Sword Sect and the Demon Castle, they naturally wouldn't come. There were 6 top sects and dozens of other small and medium-sized forces. The Tianyu Demonic Sect was packed with people. On a towering demon mountain, There was a huge hall. In front of the hall, there were many banquet tables. The experts of the 6 top sects, including the Tianyu demon sect and the Tianshan sect, were all sitting at the top. There were also some leaders of the small and medium-sized forces. The Grandmaster of the Sky Demon sect sat at the head of the table. He looked around and said, "This alliance is meant to destroy Dragon God Valley. Do you have any suggestions? I think that if we can force Lu Ming to hand over Emperor Tsong's inheritance and treasures, there's no need to fight to the death with Dragon God Valley. We'll suffer 800 losses even if we lose 1,000 enemies. If we fight to the death with Dragon God Valley, our losses will not be small either." And NBSP, the Evil Moon sect leader, said. His words immediately received the approval of some of the smaller factions. Their alliance this time was for Emperor Tsong's inheritance and treasures, not to fight to the death with Dragon God Valley. You're wrong. With Lu Ming's current achievements, if he doesn't die, who can rival him when he grows up in the future? If Dragon God Valley was not destroyed, it would definitely cause endless trouble in the future. How could it not be destroyed? If we don't, we'll be the ones in danger in the future. The sect master of the Sky Demon sect said. The others' expressions changed. The sect master of the Sky Demon sect was not bad. Lu Ming's talent was too strong. If he grew up in the future and harbored a grudge, with the support of Dragon God Valley, no one would be able to defeat him. All the sects that had participated in this matter were in danger. In my opinion, not only Dragon God Valley should be destroyed, but the Life and Death Sword sect and Demon Castle should also be destroyed one by one. This way we can eliminate all future troubles. Moreover, we can divide the territory they occupy equally. In this way, our sect will be stronger. The sect master of the Sky Demon sect continued with a cold look in his eyes. If she didn't start a war, how could she obtain the souls of powerful saints for the Blood Demon Discipline King to absorb? How could they weaken the power of the Azure Continent? Therefore, the most important thing was not to destroy Lu Ming. The most important thing was to start a war. Just as the various sects were discussing, Lu Ming arrived, alone outside the Tianyu demonic sect. He did not stop and headed straight for the sect. "Who's there? Stop!" Someone shouted. A few young guards of the Sky Demon sect appeared. When they saw Lu Ming, their faces changed and they shouted, Lu Ming is here. Get lost." Lu Ming took a step forward. The sky rumbled and the young guards spat out mouthfuls of blood. Figures flew out from the Tianyu demonic sect. A few of them had powerful auras and were obviously in the Saint realm. When they saw Lu Ming, their expressions changed drastically. Someone shouted, "Quickly report to the sect master." "Kill!" Lu Ming stepped forward and shouted. He activated the divine sword technique. The few saints screamed in pain as their souls were destroyed by Lu Ming's divine sword technique. Lu Ming exuded a cold killing intent as he stepped forward in the air. Those below the Saint realm were pale. They did not dare to stop Lu Ming and retreated. Many experts were in the middle of a discussion in the lofty hall when a few figures suddenly flew over in a hurry. The sect master's face darkened as he chided, "What's the rush? Can't you see that I'm discussing important matters with the sect masters?" "Sect master, Lu Ming is here," one of the elders quickly said. As soon as he said that, the entire place fell silent. "What? Lu Ming? How many people are there?" The sect master of the Sky Demon sect asked. "Just one person, just Lu Ming alone." The old man replied. "How dare he barge in here alone? Sect leader, you'll go out and capture Lu Ming." A great saint from the Tianyu demonic sect said. "Wait a minute. It's impossible for Lu Ming to come here alone to die. He must be up to something. Let's all go out and see what he's up to. What do you think, everyone?" The sect master of the Sky Demon sect said. "All right, who cares what tricks he has up his sleeves? There are so many of us here. He won't stand a chance. Let's take this opportunity to capture Lu Ming and force him to hand over Emperor Tsong's inheritance and treasures. Let's go." The experts of the various sects all headed out of the Demon Mountain. Soon, they saw some disciples of the Sky Demon sect retreating while Lu Ming walked alone in the air. No one could stop him. This made the sect master of the Sky Demon sect's face turn gloomy. The sect master of the Sky Demon sect scanned the surroundings before his gaze landed on Lu Ming. Lu Ming, who else is with you? Tell them to show themselves. If you want the others to show themselves, we'll have to see if you have the ability to do so. Lu Ming said indifferently. He stood tall and straight, his eyes shining with a strong fighting spirit. His meaning was self-evident. Arrogant. I was careless last time. This time, they'll take you down. An old man in a white robe stepped out. It was Mo Kong, the expert from the Tianshan sect who had fought with Lu Ming last time. Senior Kong, I'll help you. A middle-aged brawny man stepped out of the Tianyu demon sect. He exuded a shocking aura. He was a great circle bright saint, no weaker than Mo Kong. Moreover, after knowing Lu Ming's combat strength, those who dared to stand out had most likely cultivated a divine power technique and were very confident in their combat strength. Admi. An old man from the Desire Poison sect also walked out. He was also in the great circle of the Bright Saint stage. Chapter 1725. 1725 Fighting a Great Saint. The three experts formed a fan shape and surrounded Lu Ming. Lu Ming stood calmly in the void as if he did not see anything. Brat, surrender. Mo Kong said coldly. Nonsense. Old man, if you want to attack, then attack. Last time, you managed to escape with your life. This time I will take your life. Lu Ming said indifferently. Arrogant, kill. Mo Kong shouted. Holy light burst forth, forming terrifying ribbons of holy light that enveloped Lu Ming. They formed a terrifying cutting power that cut at Lu Ming wildly. Lu Ming stood there quietly and did not dodge, allowing the holy light ribbon to envelop him. After the holy light ribbon had enveloped him, he made his move. He struck out with his palm and the holy light ribbon exploded. Lu Ming moved like lightning and charged at Mo Kong. Not good. Mo Kong's expression changed drastically. He felt that Lu Ming's combat strength had increased again. How was this possible? How long has it been? Devil Flame War Blade. Poison rules the world. At this moment, the experts of the Sky Demon sect and Yudu sect both made their moves. As expected, both of them had mastered sacred arts. The moment they attacked, it was a terrifying sacred art. The power of the divine ability was extremely shocking. It could easily kill experts of the same level who did not know any divine abilities. However, Lu Ming's expression was cold. He did not stop and struck out two palms in a row. Bang, bang. Their divine abilities were destroyed by Lu Ming. In an instant, Lu Ming appeared in front of Mo Kong. Mo Kong's body turned cold as he retreated frantically. However, a powerful devouring force enveloped him and made him stop. Kill! Lu Ming rushed over and struck out with his palm. His palm was like a heavenly blade. Mo Kong's body was cut in half and his soul was destroyed. Mo Kong was dead. Many people were shocked. Mo Kong was an old monster who had cultivated for more than 100,000 years. His cultivation had reached the great circle of the Bright Saint stage, and he had cultivated a divine power technique. His combat strength was definitely at the peak of the Bright Saint stage. However, in Lu Ming's hands, he was crushed and easily killed. The visual impact was too strong. Buzz. After Lu Ming killed Mo Kong, he did not stop and rushed toward the other two. 9 sealing gates suddenly appeared in the sky and suppressed the expert from the Tianyu demon sect. The expert roared and madly slashed at the surrounding sealing gates. However, before the 9 sealing gates could be opened, Lu Ming had already arrived. No, he screamed in horror, but Lu Ming's palm came down and destroyed everything. The experts of the Tianyu demon sect followed in Mo Kong's footsteps and were killed by Lu Ming. In an instant, Lu Ming had killed 2 experts. The last expert from the Yudu sect was so frightened that he was scared out of his wits. He did not dare to fight Lu Ming and retreated frantically into the crowd. You're really a piece of trash. Weren't you very arrogant just now? Now you're so scared that you're shrinking back. Lu Ming looked at the person from the Desire Poison sect in disdain. The man's face turned red and he didn't say a word. This brat's combat strength has become stronger again. The Grandmaster of the Sky Demon sect murmured. His eyes were solemn, and his killing intent grew stronger. The others were the same. They were extremely shocked. A month ago, in the Dragon God Valley, although Lu Ming could suppress Mo Kong, it was definitely not that easy. He had to fight with many moves. But this time, he was completely crushed. This was natural. Lu Ming's spirit body had evolved into a medium-grade heaven spirit body, and his combat strength had increased tremendously. It was easy for him to kill a character like Mo Kong. Who else wants to take me down? Make your move. Lu Ming said calmly. I'll kill you. A cold voice was heard. Then, a burly elder stepped out of the Sky Demon sect. He had a strong body, and his demonic chi was soaring into the sky. Every step he took shook the sky. He stood in front of Lu Ming. His terrifying aura made it difficult for many people to breathe. Great Sage. Many people murmured. The Great Sage was about to make his move. Great Sage Minor Mastery, make your move. I want to see how strong a Great Sage is. Lu Ming said. You'll regret it very soon. The burly elder said coldly. He took a step forward and threw a punch at Lu Ming. The demonic Tao laws circulated. The punch caused the air to howl violently. It was like a mountain as it crashed toward Lu Ming. A Supreme Saint's combat power was much stronger than a Bright Saint's. A dragon's roar came from Lu Ming's body. He activated the prison's suppressing heaven technique and threw a punch as well. There was no shadow of the steel, but Lu Ming's fist seemed to have turned into the prison-suppressing steel. Even the color of his fist seemed to be the same color as the prison-suppressing steel. Thump. Their fists collided with each other, creating a terrifying boom. A terrifying shock wave burst out from their fists and rushed to both sides. The clouds in the sky were scattered by the shock wave as if they had been cut by a heavenly blade. One of the demon mountains was hit by the shock wave and exploded. Buzz! Buzz! The two of them retreated at the same time. They were evenly matched. Hisses. Many people gasped and looked at Lu Ming in disbelief. Abnormal, monstrous, too terrifying. He was only a lower-tier Bright Saint, but he could actually cross an entire realm and fight with a lower-tier Great Saint. What kind of concept was crossing over a major realm? They had never even heard of it before, let alone seen it. There was no record of it in the ancient records of the Azure continent. The difference between the initial Bright Saint realm and the Great Saint realm was too great. A Great Saint expert could kill a large group of initial Bright Saints with one slap. But now, Lu Ming could fight head-on with a Great Saint expert and not be at a disadvantage. It was incredible. The sect masters of the Sky Demon sect and the Tianshan sect were filled with murderous intent. They had to kill Lu Ming. If this continued, it would not take long for Lu Ming to surpass and kill them all. He had to kill Lu Ming. Is this all the Great Sage realm has? Lu Ming said calmly. Arrogant, kill. The tall and sturdy old man roared like a mad beast. A battle axe appeared in his hand. He raised the battle axe high and a huge axe formed in the sky. Demonic light bloomed on the giant axe, surrounding the laws. A terrifying aura spread in all directions. This was a terrifying sacred art. After stepping into the Great Sage realm, it was not difficult to cultivate a superpower. It was only a matter of how well it was done. Slash. The burly old man waved his arm and the giant axe chopped down. It was as if it could split the sky and destroy everything. At that moment, Lu Ming's body glowed with light spots. There were a total of 108 light spots, and from each light spot, a holy weapon flew out. A total of 108 holy weapons surrounded Lu Ming. A combat sword appeared in Lu Ming's hand. Its sword chi soared into the sky, and its aura was shocking. It was a Great Saint weapon. He had obtained this Great Saint weapon from the Divine Sun during his battle with him. In the past month, although Lu Ming had put all his effort into comprehending the Chaos Finger of Tribulation, he had also taken some time to cultivate the 10,000 Soldier Scroll. Now that Lu Ming had entered the Saint Realm, his cultivation base had skyrocketed, and his spirit body had evolved. In one breath, Lu Ming sealed 108 Saint weapons in his acupoints, one of which was a Great Saint weapon. Chapter 1726, 1726 Chapter 1726 Defeating a great sage. The battle weapon Qi of the 108 saint weapons was extremely powerful. Lu Ming wielded the great saint's sword and slashed out. A ray of sword light soared into the sky and clashed with the huge axe. Boom! In the air, the giant axe and the giant sword light clashed together, creating a terrifying boom. Then they were both destroyed. No one had the upper hand. Kill, kill! Lu Ming shouted. He took a step forward and charged at his opponent. Bush, bush. With a single thought, the saint weapons around him began to charge at his opponent. The burly elder shouted and waved his battle axe, sending the combat weapons flying. Lu Ming rushed forward with his combat sword in hand. The sword glowed with a milky white holy light. Clang! The two of them exchanged another blow, and they were still equally matched. Lu Ming took a step back and took a step in the air, then charged at his opponent again. His opponent did the same. The two of them engaged in an intense battle. The battle sword and the battle axe kept colliding with each other, sending sparks flying in all directions. It was as if a storm was blowing in the air. The entire audience was silent as they watched without blinking. Many people were already numb to Lu Ming's combat strength. Could it be that even a great saint could not take down Lu Ming? Could it be that a stronger expert was needed? That would be really embarrassing. The sect master's face turned even gloomier. The great saint weapon in Lu Ming's hand belonged to the Divine Sun. He had given it to the Divine Sun. Now, it was in Lu Ming's hands and had become his weapon. Lu Ming and the burly elder clashed head-on. They exchanged dozens of moves in an instant. The more the burly old man fought, the more shocked and anxious he became. A great saint had attacked a young man in the initial bright saint realm, and in a head-on battle, he had actually failed to take him down. This had never happened before in the history of the Azure continent. His attacks became more and more violent. Clang! Lu Ming exchanged another blow with his opponent and retreated. At this moment, Lu Ming's eyes turned pitch black, like two deep pools, unfathomable. At that moment, the burly elder seemed to have realized that Lu Ming had disappeared. Between heaven and earth, giant dragons pounced toward him. Illusion, break! The burly old man roared. The soul in his sea of consciousness shone, and the battle axe in his hand swept out, destroying everything. This technique was the soul illusion technique, which he had obtained from Chiao-ing. Buzz! After casting the soul illusion, Lu Ming took a step forward and charged at the burly elder. Not good. The people who were watching the battle, especially those from the Sky Demon sect, were shocked. They saw that the burly old man suddenly slashed wildly at the air. Lu Ming's body was approaching at high speed, but the other party did not seem to have any reaction. Buzz! Lu Ming's sword was aimed at the burly elder. Get lost! At this moment, the burly old man roared. He seemed to sense the danger and swung his battle axe at Lu Ming. The axe hit the combat sword and blocked Lu Ming's attack. It seems that my soul power is not enough. Lu Ming muttered. Due to the fusion of the main body and the secondary body, Lu Ming's soul force had skyrocketed and was now equivalent to the soul force of a great sage initial mastery. However, the other party was also a great sage initial mastery and his soul force was not weaker than his. Although Lu Ming had cast the soul illusion technique to make the other party hallucinate, the other party could still feel it when he was faced with a fatal blow. Just like at the treasure auction, Chiao-ing's soul power was far above the other party's, but the other party could not feel it at all and was completely trapped in the illusion. Kill! Lu Ming waved his hand and more than 100 holy weapons, all of which were offensive, flew towards the burly elder. At the same time, he stepped forward and attacked the burly elder. The burly old man roared. He kept swinging his battle axe, bringing with it a violent wind that swept in all directions. Lu Ming could not get close. Do you think this will work? Suppress. Lu Ming's glabella glowed and the Tai Chi formation disc appeared, filled with endless runes. A Tai Chi pattern appeared and pressed down on the burly old man. The Tai Chi formation disc was mysterious and powerful. As Lu Ming's cultivation level increased, the power it could unleash became stronger as well. Buzz! The Tai Chi pattern pressed down on the burly old man. The Tai Chi pattern contained the power of destruction and sealing. The burly old man's body trembled and he retreated. Kill! Lu Ming arrived and slashed down with his sword, cutting the burly elder into two. However, as a supreme saint, he wouldn't die even if he was cut in half. The elder's body, which had been cut in half, retreated frantically. Lu Ming chased after him relentlessly, wanting to kill him. Enough! The Grandmaster of the Sky Demon sect waved his hand, and his saint energy wrapped around the elder like a ribbon, pulling him behind him. The burly elder broke away from the range of Lu Ming's illusion. The two halves of his body connected together and recovered rapidly. He looked at Lu Ming with lingering fear. He was almost killed by Lu Ming just now. Many people trembled in their hearts. Lu Ming had almost killed a great saint with his cultivation at the initial Bright Saint realm. What's wrong? If the Bright Saint can't do it, then the Great Saint can. Now that the Great Saint can't do it, are you, an absolute saint, going to make a move? Lu Ming looked at the sect master of the Sky Demon sect and mocked. He hated the sect master of the Sky Demon sect to the core and wanted to kill him immediately. He actually gave Xian Yanqing to Evil Spirit's Dharma King to possess him. She had probably planned this since Xian Yanqing joined the Tianyu Demon sect and was accepted as her disciple. How dare you, Lu Ming? This is the Tianyu Demon sect. How can you act so atrociously here? All right, now hand over Emperor Tsong's inheritance and treasures. The Grandmaster of the Sky Demon sect spoke indifferently and changed the topic to Emperor Tsong's treasure. There's no hurry. I'll let you see a person first. Lu Ming smiled. Then he made a grabbing motion in the air, and the Mo Yang appeared in his hand. At this moment, Mo Yang was still unconscious in Lu Ming's hands. Yang, what did you do to him? The Grandmaster of the Sky Demon sect's expression changed slightly as he berated. It's nothing much. This guy was chasing after a disciple of my Dragon God Valley. I happened to run into him, so I knocked him out and brought him here. Lu Ming smiled faintly. Now give me Yang. The Grandmaster of the Sky Demon sect spoke in a commanding tone. I can give it to you, but you have to give me Nianqing first. We'll each exchange one person. That's fair. Lu Ming said. In exchange for Nianqing? What a joke. Nianqing is my disciple, so how could I exchange another disciple for this disciple? The Grandmaster of the Sky Demon sect immediately rejected. Lu Ming's expression did not change. He had long guessed this outcome. The other party wanted to use Xian Yanqing to let evil spirits Shakyamuni possess him. Why would he trade for Mo Yang? So you're not exchanging? I've searched Mo Yang's soul before, and I discovered a shocking secret in his memories. Lu Ming smiled. The sect master of the Sky Demon sect's expression changed. His eyes turned even more sinister as he glared at Lu Ming. Don't lie to me, no one can search Yang Er's soul. Chapter 1727, 1727 Chapter 1727 Successful Blackmail. I know you've set up a seal near Mo Yang's soul. Once you search his soul, it will be destroyed. Unfortunately, you've underestimated me. Lu Ming smiled faintly. His smile made the sect master of the Sky Demon sect's expression turn uglier and uglier. You're still too inexperienced to try to deceive me. Let go of Yang. The sect master of the Sky Demon sect sneered and stepped forward. Stop. One more step and I'll kill him. Lu Ming grabbed Mo Yang's neck and said coldly as he retreated. Since you don't believe me, then I'll make it public. The Tianyu Demon sect is a remnant of evil spirit cult. At the bottom of the Demon Mountain, there's a disciplined king of evil spirit cult. There are also people from the intentionless Saber sect hiding in the Tianyu Demon sect. Lu Ming retreated as he spoke, his voice reverberating throughout the entire venue. As soon as he said that, the entire place fell silent. Many people's eyes widened in shock as they looked at the sect master of the Sky Demon sect. Tianyu demonic sect was actually evil spirit religion's remnant? Was that for real? Boom. The sect master of the Tianshan sect glowed with holy light as he looked at the sect master of the Sky Demon sect coldly. Is Lu Ming's words true? Nonsense. How could you believe such a clumsy plan to sow discord? The Sky Demon Sect Master said coldly, his face extremely gloomy. The Sect Master of the Tianshan sect's expression kept changing. Perhaps, this was really Lu Ming's plan to sow discord. If I want to verify whether it's true or not, I just have to search Mo Yang's soul again on the spot and project the images in his memories. Wouldn't that make things clear? Everyone, do you want to see it? That's very exciting. Lu Ming smiled. Then he lifted Mo Yang up and pointed at the space between his eyebrows, as if he was going to search his soul again. What do you want to do? If you want to harm Yang, you're courting death. The sect master of the Sky Demon Sect bellowed as he swiped his claw out. A gigantic demonic claw formed and swiped at Lu Ming. The demonic claw emitted a terrifying engine. It wanted to kill Lu Ming and Mo Yang together and destroy the evidence. High in the sky, a dazzling sword light slashed down, splitting the demonic claw in half. The sword light converged, and a figure appeared beside Lu Ming. It was the Cloud Dragon Valley Master. What's wrong? You want to silence me, afraid that your evil spirit religion will be exposed? The Cloud Dragon Valley Master said. Yunroxu, you're here. Everyone, let's attack together and kill them. Then, destroy Dragon God Valley. The sect master of the Sky Demon Sect shouted. I think we should first search Mo Yang's soul and see what's going on. The sect master of the Heavenly God Sect said coldly. Although he really wanted to kill Lu Ming and the Cloud Dragon Valley Master, he could only put Lu Ming aside for the time being when it came to the evil spirit cult. If the Tianyu demonic sect was really evil spirits remnant, and what Lu Ming said was true, then the matter would be serious. It was obvious that the Tianyu demon sect was using them as a tool to incite internal strife in the Tsang region. If they were not careful, the Tianshan sect would be destroyed. Such a big matter had to be cleared up first. That's right, they'll search their souls first. If Lu Ming's words are false, it won't be too late to kill them then. The Jiuxiao Sword sect leader said. The Grandmaster of the Sky Demon Sect's expression changed. Then he said coldly, all right, let them search our souls. Well, kill them after we've proven the Sky Demon Sect's innocence. Lu Ming searched their souls. The Grandmaster of the Sky Demon Sect retreated, and his expression returned to normal. He had a clear conscience. All right, Master, you can search his soul and project the image. Lu Ming said to Cloud Dragon Valley Master as he mentioned Mo Yang. All right. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master nodded and reached out to touch Mo Yang's forehead. Do it. At this moment, the sect master of the Sky Demon Sect suddenly roared and attacked. He struck his palm at the sect master of the Tianshan sect beside him. At the same time, countless people in the crowd made their moves. Terrifying attacks were launched at the people around them. The sect master of the Tianshan sect was shocked. At the critical moment, he used all his strength to block the attack of the sect master of the Sky Demon Sect. However, he was forced to retreat and spit out a mouthful of blood. In his haste, it was difficult for him to completely block the other party's attack. The sect master of the Heavenly God Sect was more alert, while those who were less alert were directly killed. At the scene, a series of miserable screams rang out. An unwilling roar resounded throughout the heaven and earth within the Tianshan sect. This roar came from another absolute saint of the Heavenly God Sect. This time, there were two absolute saints from the Heavenly God Sect. Beside him, the Tower Master of the Blood Demon Tower launched an attack on him. The terrifying sword light directly shattered his saint heart. The sword light burst forth, and the Supreme Saint Expert of the Tianshan sect died. In addition, the Yudu sect's experts also attacked the Evil Moon sect and Jiuxiao Sword sect's experts. The Evil Moon sect's sect master was severely injured, but fortunately he reacted in time and was not killed. In that instant, many experts from the three sects were killed. Blood Demon Tower, Desire Poison Sect, you are all traitors. The Heavenly God Sect's sect master roared. Lu Ming is right. You are indeed evil spirits' remnants. The Grandmaster of the Jiuxiao Sword sect roared. They had suffered a great loss just now. Ever since Lu Ming said that the Tianyu demonic sect was evil spirit religion's remnant, They had more or less developed a sense of wariness against the Tianyu demonic sect. However, he had never expected that the Desire Poison sect and the Blood Demon Tower were actually birds of a feather. They've finally made their move. Lu Ming's lips curled into a cold smile. This was his plan. He would use the excuse of searching Mo Yang's soul to extort the Tianyu demonic sect. The plan was very successful, and the sect master of the Sky Demon sect did not dare to take the risk. However, he had not expected that the Blood Demon Tower and the Desire Poison sect were actually birds of a feather. Kill them all. The sect master of the Sky Demon sect shouted. His voice was extremely cold as he launched a storm of attacks at the sect master of the Heavenly God sect. The forces of the three major sects, the Tianxin sect, the Jiuxiao Sword sect, and the Evil Moon sect, had originally been very strong. They were not weaker than the Tianyu Demon sect, the Blood Demon Tower, and the Yudu sect. However, they had just been ambushed. One of the Divine Sect's absolute saints was killed, the Evil Moon sect's sect master was severely injured, and the other absolute saint of the Jiuxiao Sword sect was also severely injured. They were in great danger. The only one who could maintain his peak combat strength was the sect leader of the Jiuxiao Sword sect. As for the great saints and bright saints, they had suffered even more losses. The situation was extremely unfavorable. Kill! At this time, a large number of figures rushed out from another demon mountain, killing their way over. The intentionless saber sect is indeed here. There are also people from Evil Spirit. There are 4 absolute saints. Someone cried out in alarm, revealing a look of despair. One could tell that there were 2 groups of people among the people who rushed out. One group was from the intentionless saber sect, led by 2 absolute saints. The other group was dressed in black robes and should be experts from Evil Spirit. The 2 people leading them were also absolute saints. The people of the 3 sects, the Heavenly God sect, the Jiuxiao Sword sect, and the Evil Moon sect, looked desperate. Ming, take care of yourself, the Cloud Dragon Valley Master said to Lu Ming. Then he wielded his sword and charged at the Evil Spirit cultivators. A dragon's roar was heard, and the Ice Dragon Patriarch appeared. His huge dragon claws grabbed at the 2 absolute saints of the intentionless saber sect. Chapter 1728 Lu Ming beheads an absolute saint, the Ice Dragon Patriarch of Dragon God Valley. The expressions of the 2 powerhouses from the intentionless saber sect changed drastically. They slashed out terrifying saber lights towards the Ice Dragon Old Ancestor. A black and white sword chi cut through the void and slashed at the Tower Master of Blood Demon Tower. Then, with a loud roar, a divine sun lion appeared. The Valley Master of Ice Dragon Valley also appeared and joined the battle. Although the Deity Sect and the other major sects had previously discussed about destroying Dragon God Valley, they couldn't just leave them in the lurch. If the experts of the Deity Sect, Jiuxiao Sword Sect, and Evil Moon Sect all died here, the remaining forces in the Azure region would be greatly weakened. This was exactly what Evil Spirit wanted. They had to join forces to deal with Evil Spirit. The scene was in a chaotic battle. Many absolute saints flew into the sky and started fighting. The battle between absolute saints was too terrifying. The overflowing chi could kill great saints and bright saints, not to mention those below the saint realm. They all had disciples below. If they fought with all their strength below, the disciples of both sides would die. The absolute saints flew into the sky and fought. The others below were fighting, and screams kept coming. Little Qing, it's in that demon mountain. Lu Ming's eyes swept across the area. According to the images he saw in Mo Yang's memories, his gaze landed on the place where many sects had gathered. Xian Yanqing was imprisoned under the demon mountain. The soul of Evil Spirit's Blood Demon Master was also below. Lu Ming stepped forward. He had a saint weapon around him and a sword in his hand. With one slash, he killed a saint of the Tianyu demonic sect. Then, he killed another saint of the Yudu sect with one strike. After killing a few people, Lu Ming did not linger in the battle. He used the Thundering Wind steps and his figure flickered as he headed towards the demon mountain. Lu Ming died. With a loud roar, a middle-aged brawny man charged at Lu Ming with a demonic blade in his hand. His aura was extremely shocking. This was a great saint. He was even more powerful than the burly elder who had fought with Lu Ming previously. Lu Ming waved his sword and slashed with all his might. Clang! The other party's saber gleam directly crushed Lu Ming's sword gleam and slashed at Lu Ming's combat sword. Lu Ming felt an unstoppable force surging towards him. He retreated continuously, his chi and blood churning, and a mouthful of blood flowed from the corner of his mouth. Great Sage Great Mastery. This was an expert in the Great Sage Great Mastery realm. He was extremely powerful and Lu Ming was no match for him. Cripple him first. After the battle is over, well, force out his secret. A few more people appeared in front of Lu Ming. They were all great saints. One of them was the burly elder who had fought with Lu Ming earlier. His eyes were cold. There were a total of 4 great saints. Lu Ming could not possibly defeat them. The 4 great saints' auras exploded and pressed down on Lu Ming. Since you're looking for death, I'll fulfill your wish, Lu Ming said coldly. The holy weapons around him flew into his body and disappeared. A large halberd appeared in his hand. Reincarnation halberd. Zhen Yuan poured into the reincarnation halberd. A beam of energy was activated, and a layer of black light appeared on the halberd. You still want to kill us? The middle-aged man slashed at Lu Ming again. Kill! Lu Ming held the reincarnation halberd and slashed with all his might. With a clang, the battle saber in the middle-aged man's hand was directly cut into 2 by the reincarnation halberd. The reincarnation halberd did not stop. With one slash, the middle-aged man's body was split in half from the middle. A great sage expert had fallen. The other 3 supreme saints were almost scared to death. That was a great saint, but he was killed by Lu Ming's halberd. Even the demonic blade of the great saint weapon was cut in half. How could this be? Retreat, retreat. There was only one thought in their minds, and that was to retreat. The further away they were from Lu Ming, the better. It's too late to leave now. Kill! Lu Ming shouted and slashed with the reincarnation halberd. A dark light flashed and the 3 great saints' bodies stiffened. Their eyes popped out and they looked horrified. Then, their bodies were torn into pieces and their souls were destroyed. 3 supreme saints were killed in one move. The other people nearby were scared out of their wits. They retreated frantically and kept their distance from Lu Ming. Lu Ming stepped forward and continued to walk toward the Demon Mountain. Along the way, there were hundreds of people from the Intentionless Saber sect and Evil Spirit sect who were in the middle. They were directly killed by Lu Ming's halberd, and hundreds of people were killed in an instant. Lu Ming was bathed in blood, looking like a demonic god as he came to the demonic mountain. Open it! Lu Ming held the reincarnation halberd with both hands and raised it high. The reincarnation halberd enlarged rapidly and then hacked down heavily at the demon mountain. This halberd was like the halberd of a god. As it slashed down, the huge palace on the demon mountain directly exploded. Boom, boom, boom. Under the reincarnation halberd, the towering demon mountain was split into 2 with a loud noise. Huge rocks flew everywhere, as if doomsday had arrived. The demon mountain was split open, revealing the underground cave under the mountain. Who is it? And NBSP, a sharp sound reverberated through the sky. In the underground cave, blood mist gathered and formed a giant face. Xian Yanqing sat there, motionless, as if he was unaware of what was happening outside. Little Qing. Lu Ming's heart trembled. He did not expect to see Xian Yanqing again in such a place and under such circumstances. The Tianyu demonic sect and evil spirit cult must be destroyed and killed. Lu Ming's eyes were filled with a layer of blood red, and his killing intent was extremely strong. Brat, you're looking for death, die. A loud shout was heard. An elder in a black robe rushed out of the underground cave. Demonic chi surged from his body, and his aura was extremely terrifying. This was an absolute saint. The Tianyu demonic sect had specially called for a supreme saint to guard this underground cave. Kill him! The giant face formed by the blood demon king shrieked. Die! The Tianyu demonic sect's absolute saint's demonic aura soared to the sky as he clawed at Lu Ming. The terrifying demonic claw was larger than a mountain. Even an expert in the great sage great perfection realm would be killed by this claw, let alone a Ming sage. However, Lu Ming's expression did not change. He was still cold and indifferent. He stepped forward and said in a cold voice, "You're the one who's going to die." The reincarnation halberd enlarged and slashed out. The demonic claw formed by the Tianyu demonic sect's absolute saint was directly split apart. The reincarnation halberd did not stop and continued to slash at the Tianyu demonic sect's absolute saint. How is that possible? The sky demon sect's absolute saint's eyes widened. He realized that he had been completely locked onto by the reincarnation halberd. It was as if there was a reincarnation power that made it impossible for him to dodge. He could only take it head-on. He roared and struck out with his palms. In an instant he struck out hundreds of palm prints. The hundreds of palm prints merged and formed a giant demonic palm print, which smashed towards the reincarnation halberd. However, it was all in vain. As the reincarnation halberd slashed down, the demonic palm print collapsed. The reincarnation halberd slashed at the Tianyu demon sect's absolute saint with unparalleled power. The absolute saint let out a blood-curdling scream that reverberated throughout the entire Tianyu demon sect. Then he was cut in half by Lu Ming, and his soul was annihilated. An absolute saint had died. Chapter 1729. 1729 The confrontation between souls. This scene was seen by everyone present, and it made their hearts tremble. This was especially so for the people from the Sky Demon sect and the Yudu sect. They were almost scared to death. An absolute saint was killed by Lu Ming's halberd. How did Lu Ming have such powerful strength? Damn it. How can this little bastard control such a terrifying power? The Grandmaster of the Sky Demon sect was the most shocked. He kept screaming in his heart, and his face was twisted. Good kill. Evil spirits' remnants are destined to be destroyed again. The Valley Master laughed, and his sword light was like a dragon, forcing an evil spirit absolute saint to retreat. How is that possible? The Blood Demon Master's giant face also screamed. Blood Demon King, I'll kill you now. Lu Ming held the reincarnation halberd and charged at the Blood Demon Queen. The reincarnation halberd could kill anyone below the Emperor level. Although the Blood Demon King was an Emperor-level expert at his peak, he was only left with a wisp of soul, so he could still be killed. Damn it, a bunch of trash. I can only take over his body now. The Blood Demon Master roared and turned into a ray of blood light, rushing into Xian Yanking's forehead. Not good. Lu Ming's expression changed and he rushed towards Xian Yanqing. Little Qing, wake up. Lu Ming shouted, but it was useless. Xian Yanqing did not wake up. Moreover, Xian Yanking's body was covered in a layer of blood light. Her body trembled slightly and her face showed pain. Lu Ming was extremely anxious. Clearly, the Blood Demon King was trying to possess Xian Yanqing. He wanted to destroy Xian Yanking's spiritual will and replace him. Lu Ming would never let such a thing happen. Let's go all out. Lu Ming's eyes were filled with determination. He took a step forward and activated the Array Dao Law. Countless runes appeared on the ground. Runes were not inscriptions, they were of a higher level. Only those who had comprehended the power of laws could release them. A large array enveloped Lu Ming and he sat down cross-legged. The space between his brows glowed and a small person appeared. It was Lu Ming's soul. Lu Ming's soul rushed to Xian Yanking's glabella and entered it. The next moment, Lu Ming's soul appeared in a vast land. This place was Xian Yanking's sea of consciousness. The moment Lu Ming entered, he saw Xian Yanking's figure. At this moment, Xian Yanqing was surrounded by a cloud of blood-red mist. Little Qing. Lu Ming roared and rushed over. Xian Yanking's figure wasn't his soul. He hadn't broken through to the Saint Plane yet, so he hadn't condensed his soul. It was his spiritual will. One's spiritual will could project a physical form in one's sea of consciousness. It was just like how Lu Ming could project a physical form in his own sea of consciousness a long time ago. However, It was impossible for his soul to enter other people's sea of consciousness like Lu Ming. Once one spiritual will broke through to the saint realm, it would form a soul. If the Blood Demon King refined Xian Yanqing's spiritual will, it would be equivalent to Xian Yanqing disappearing from the world. Lu Ming! Xian Yanqing exclaimed. He did not expect Lu Ming to come to her sea of consciousness. Blood Demon King, die! Lu Ming turned into a ray of light and rushed toward the Blood Demon King. With a swing of his palm, the law of chaos circulated and slashed at the Blood Demon King's soul. Nomological laws were grasped after one had comprehended them. They borrowed the laws of heaven and earth and not one's own energy. Therefore, the soul could also use the laws. Brat, you're looking for death, die! The Blood Demon Queen shouted coldly and condensed into a human form. It was the form of an old woman. She stretched out her withered claws and grabbed at Lu Ming. Bang! Lu Ming's palm struck the Blood Demon King's claw. He immediately felt a terrifying force surge over, as if it was going to tear his arm apart. Lu Ming's figure retreated rapidly. The chaos laws circulated continuously and finally obliterated this force. Although the Blood Demon King was only a wisp of his soul, he was an emperor-level existence at his peak. His foundation was too strong, and Lu Ming could not match him at all. Even though Lu Ming's soul force was already equivalent to a supreme saint, it was useless. Brat, not only will you not be able to save this little girl today, even you will have to stay here. The Blood Demon Queen sneered and floated toward Lu Ming. Her withered claws continued to claw at Lu Ming. Godly sword technique. Lu Ming had an idea. He circulated the divine sword technique. His entire body turned into a sword of the soul, and slashed at the Blood Demon King. It's actually a soul-destroying divine sword technique. It's a pity that your soul power is too weak. The Blood Demon Queen sneered. Her claws grabbed the soul-spirit battle sword that Lu Ming had transformed into. A sound of metal clashing was heard and the soul-spirit battle sword was sent flying. Buzz! The soul-spirit sword transformed back into Lu Ming. In a flash, Lu Ming appeared beside Xian Yanqing. Little Qing, are you all right? Lu Ming looked at Xian Yanqing worriedly. I'm fine. Lu Ming, why are you here? Leave quickly, leave this place quickly. Xian Yanqing said anxiously. Silly girl, what nonsense are you saying? If you're in danger, why would I leave? If I have to die today, I'll die with you. Lu Ming said, his voice full of tenderness. Then I'll send you on your way and let you two be a pair of mandarin ducks sharing the same fate. The Blood Demon Queen sneered and attacked the two of them, clawing at them. This is my sea of consciousness. Get out. Xian Yanqing shouted. Her spiritual will glowed, and a terrifying fluctuation spread toward the Blood Demon Master. The evil spirit Discipline King's eyes revealed a grave expression. His two claws continuously struck out, breaking that invisible fluctuation. It wasn't easy to possess someone. Just like Xian Yanqing said, this was her sea of consciousness. In her sea of consciousness, Xian Yanqing was able to unleash a terrifying power to destroy foreign souls. Therefore, the Blood Demon Master had always wanted to devour and refine more souls to strengthen his own soul before he began to possess Xian Yanqing. But now, she was forced to start the possession in advance. Kill! Lu Ming continued to cast the divine sword technique and transformed into a divine sword. He cooperated with Xian Yanqing to fight against the Blood Demon Master. Meanwhile, the battle outside was getting more and more intense. A large number of experts had fallen here forever, their blood staining the entire demon mountain. The sect master of the Sky Demon sect looked anxious when he saw Lu Ming's soul enter Xian Yanqing's body. You guys go and kill Lu Ming. Hurry! The sect master of the Sky Demon sect shouted. A few great saints immediately pounced on Lu Ming. You're looking for death. With a long roar, the sword light broke through the sky and two supreme saints were killed instantly. With a flash of sword light, the Cloud Dragon Valley Master appeared beside Lu Ming, holding his sword to block the attack. We must kill Lu Ming and let the Shakyamuni successfully possess him. The sect master of the Sky Demon sect shrieked. All of this involved her future. If the Blood Demon King succeeded, she would have a chance to become a great emperor in the future. She must not be ruined by Lu Ming. The sect master of the Sky Demon sect used all his strength to force his opponent to retreat before charging towards the Cloud Dragon Valley master. At the same time, the other two Absolute Saints also rushed toward the Cloud Dragon Valley master. At that moment, two more Absolute Saints appeared on Evil Spirit's side. Evil Spirit had the advantage of Absolute Saints. Chapter 1730 Killing Emperor's Soul. On Evil Spirit cult's side, there were already 11 Absolute Saints, including the three major sects, Tianyu Demonic Sect, Yudu Sect, and Blood Demon Tower. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master and the others had originally come with 5 people. In addition to the Absolute Saints from the Tianshan Sect, the Evil Moon Sect, and the Jiuxiao Sword Sect, there were 9 people in total. However, 2 of them had been seriously injured by the sneak attack. The situation was not in the Cloud Dragon Valley Master's favor. 9 appearances of Cloud Dragon. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master kept slashing out with his sword. The sword light turned into 9 Cloud Dragons that flew out and blocked the Absolute Saints in the air. However, the Absolute Saints attacked and defeated the Cloud Dragon. Although the Cloud Dragon Valley Master was strong, he was only one person. It would be difficult for him to stop the joint forces of several people. Kill! Kill! A few Absolute Saints shouted. They controlled laws and used their superpowers to form a terrifying offensive power that poured towards the Cloud Dragon Valley Master. There were also some with terrifying combat power that was not much weaker than the Cloud Dragon Valley Master. With a dragon roar, the Ice Dragon Patriarch rushed over with a terrifying cold current. He sent an Absolute Saint flying with one move and almost froze him. Get lost! The Ice Dragon roared and struck out with its claws. The other 2 Absolute Saints were also forced back. The Ice Dragon Patriarch and the Cloud Dragon Valley Master stood together to protect Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing. Charge! The sect master of the Sky Demon sect shrieked. At least 5 Absolute Saints charged toward Lu Ming. However, the Cloud Dragon Valley Master and the Ice Dragon Patriarch didn't want to make any mistakes, so they guarded the area tightly. The other party couldn't get past them for a while. In Xian Yanqing's Sea of Consciousness, the battle had already entered a state of white heat. The Blood Demon Patriarch was an emperor-level powerhouse after all. Even with his soul fragment, he was still terrifying. Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing were no match for him. They were surrounded by the Blood Demon Patriarch in a bloody light. The blood-red light contained the power of laws. She wanted to refine Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing together. Hee, your fate has already been decided. Just accept your fate. The Blood Demon King let out a sharp laugh. A bloody mist filled the air. Lu Ming felt a tearing pain in his soul. Xian Yanqing's spiritual will trembled as if it could not withstand it anymore. Little Qing. Lu Ming was unwilling to give up. His soul turned into a long sword and slashed at the blood mist around him. Unfortunately, as the battle continued, Lu Ming's soul force became weaker and weaker. It was already difficult for him to cause fatal damage to the Blood Demon King. Struggle, struggle with all your might. This is your last chance. The Blood Demon Queen laughed. She seemed to enjoy the process of Lu Ming and the rest struggling. At that moment, Lu Ming's spine emitted a blood-red light. Then, the prison-suppressing steel bloodline emerged. With a whoosh, the prison-suppressing steel's bloodline rushed into Xian Yanqing's glabella and entered his sea of consciousness. Buzz! As soon as it arrived in Xian Yanqing's consciousness, the prison-suppressing steel changed rapidly like a mountain. The 2 words, prison steel below it gave off a brilliant light and pressed down on the Blood Demon Master. Prison-suppressing steel, how is that possible? The Blood Demon King shrieked. Boom! Under the suppression of the prison-suppressing steel, the Blood Demon King let out a scream. The blood mist rolled and formed an old woman's body again. Her face was full of shock and horror. Buzz! The prison-suppressing steel grew larger and larger. The 2 words seemed to have infinite power, and once again pressed down on the Blood Demon King. The Blood Demon Queen screamed and retreated quickly, but it was useless. She seemed to have been locked by the prison-suppressing steel and had nowhere to escape. Boom. This time, the Blood Demon King's body directly exploded. Balls of soul power were obliterated by the power of the prison-suppressing steel. When the Blood Demon King gathered together again, her body had shrunk a lot, and she looked dispirited. However, the prison-suppressing steel obviously had no intention of letting her go. It pressed down again. The Blood Demon Master screamed in fear. She was going crazy. She never dreamed that the prison-suppressing steel would appear here. The prison-suppressing steel was the nemesis of her clan. Boom. This time, the Blood Demon King was even more miserable. His form was directly shattered, and after a roll, it was difficult for him to reform. At this moment, a black crystal appeared in Xian Nianking's consciousness. It emitted a terrifying devouring power and was about to devour the Blood Demon King's soul. "It's my world core," Xian Yanqing said. Lu Ming's expression changed. He controlled the prison-suppressing steel and it flew back to his head. "Ah, don't!" The Blood Demon King kept screaming, as if he was extremely frightened. However, there were still balls of soul energy that were absorbed by the world core. Lu Ming recognized it. The world core at this moment was what he had obtained in the core of the Divine Ruins continent back then. He had thought that it was a saint's heart, but now it seemed that it was a world core left behind by an emperor-level powerhouse. The soul energy of the Blood Demon King was continuously devoured by the world core. In the end, only a black shadow was left, constantly twisting and struggling. At this moment, Lu Ming was shocked. This was because the black shadow that had appeared at the end did not look like a human at all. Although it had the form of a human, it was extremely strange. It was like a shadow, and there was an eye in the middle of its brows. It had a total of 3 eyes. Lu Ming was reminded of the 3-eyed god race and the terrifying creature that fought the Titan Bull. It also had 3 eyes. What was the connection between all these? Could it be that this black shadow was the true body of the Blood Demon King? Buzz. At that moment, the prison-suppressing steel was not under Lu Ming's control. It flew out of his body and pressed down on the black shadow. No, the black shadow screamed in fear, but under the prison-suppressing steel, the black shadow exploded and turned into ashes. The remnant soul of the Blood Demon Master was finally crushed to death by the prison-suppressing steel. Lu Ming heaved a long sigh of relief. "Lu Ming, I'm going to cultivate in seclusion." At this moment, Xian Yanqing spoke. The world core seemed to have absorbed the Blood Demon King's soul energy and had undergone a change. "All right, you can go into seclusion. It'll protect you," Lu Ming said. Xian Yanqing nodded. The next moment, her spiritual will disappeared. Lu Ming, on the other hand, left Xian Nianking's sea of consciousness with the prison-suppressing steel and returned to his body. As soon as he returned to his body, Lu Ming heard a loud boom. He turned around and saw the Cloud Dragon Valley Master and the Ice Dragon Patriarch fighting 5 absolute saints. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master and the Ice Dragon Patriarch were barely able to resist the 5 absolute saints, but they didn't take a step back. Instead, they stood firmly in front of them. "Kill!" Lu Ming shouted and strode forward with the reincarnation halberd in his hand. "Lu Ming, did you succeed?" asked the Ice Dragon Patriarch. "It's a success. The Blood Demon Master has been killed." Lu Ming's voice spread throughout the entire area, causing many people to be shocked. "Impossible!" The Grand Master of the Sky Demon sect started to scream like a madman. With the Blood Demon King's death, her years of hard work would be in vain. Her face was distorted. Chapter 1731. 1731 Yenching breaks through the saint realm. Nothing is impossible. Kill. Die. Lu Ming shouted. He held the reincarnation halberd with both hands and slashed forward. This attack was aimed at an extremely powerful absolute saint. This person's combat power wasn't much weaker than the Cloud Dragon Valley Master. If he wanted to kill, he had to kill the strongest. The reincarnation halberd was like the halberd of the heavenly god. As it slashed down, there was no way to stop it. The absolute saint let out an unwilling roar, and his body was turned into ashes by the reincarnation halberd. Nothing was left. The other 4 absolute saints were shocked. They didn't dare to stay any longer. They all retreated frantically, afraid that Lu Ming would kill them with his halberd. There was a look of pity in Lu Ming's eyes. The energy was used up. There were 2 streams of energy in the halberd. The one that had been used earlier had been used up, especially to kill an absolute saint. Now, there was only 1 energy left in the halberd. However, there were still 10 absolute saints. Even if he used the last bit of energy, he wouldn't be able to kill all of them. Kill! Lu Ming only hesitated for a moment before he stepped forward with the reincarnation halberd in his hand. Now, he didn't become an idiot. Burst of energy. That energy was to be used at a critical moment. The Grandmaster of the Sky Demon did not know that Lu Ming had no energy left. In anger. When they saw Lu Ming approaching, they were scared out of their wits and retreated continuously. Lu Ming had said that he would search Mo Yang's soul in public and project the image. Heartily. However, together with the Cloud Dragon Valley Master, he was lying to her. Lu Ming and his purpose was to trick her into taking action. The evil spirit cultivators, the power regardless of their cultivation levels, and the other sects to destroy Dragon God Valley first. Lu Ming was the Demon Castle and the Life and Death Sword. No matter what cultivation level they were at, she could have laid a trap and one strike with the halberd in his hand. And the other sections. It was the same even for absolute saints. The Azure region would have fallen completely into their control. Whoever went up against them would die. The Blood Demon Master could also successfully possess the body of the Sky and Demon everything sect. Would be perfect. The sect master's expression everything had changed. He used all his strength to force his opponent back and retreated frantically. In advance. Why are you retreating? Had changed because Didn't you want to kill me? At that moment, Lu Ming's sneered and glared at the sect master of the Sky Demon sect. Let's go. The sect master of the Sky Demon glared at Lu Ming and turned to leave. She wanted nothing more than to cut him into pieces. Also retreated and disappeared. She did not dare to fight. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master and company did not pursue. They were already at a disadvantage. The Grandmaster of the Sky even if they pursued, they would not be able to keep the other spirits started to gather together. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master and the others looked at the sect master and their combined auras with an unfriendly expression. However, the expression of the reincarnation of the heavenly god forward changed drastically. The other party was shocked and retreated. Flashed and retreated to the distance. One halberd forced the 10 absolute. The first thing we have to deal with now is evil spirit. If we have an internal conflict, that many people would never forget it for the rest of their lives. Lu Ming, what's the rush? You're just relying on external items. We didn't say we were going to kill you. I can kill you with Cloud Dragon Valley if I rely on my real abilities. Then, the Cloud Dragon Valley Master looked around and said, everyone, let's go back and inform the other sects in the Azure continent to join forces to find the lair of evil spirit and destroy them in one fell swoop. If you were the same age as me, what do you think? I could blow you to death with a single breath. The Lord of Demon laughed out loud. His huge eyes swept across the experts of Jiuxiao of the Sky Demon sect had an ugly expression on his face. What do you all think? But he could not refute. Annihilating evil spirit is our top priority. Later, if you stop I have the same intention. No one can stop evil spirit from rising. Said, "Let's go." The sect master of the evil Sky Demon sect also and the others slowly retreated. Everyone's eyes turned to the sect master of the heavenly god sect. Lu Ming took out the heavenly god sword and naturally fight to annihilate evil spirit cult. I did search Mo Yang's soul. The sect master of the heavenly god sect said, "All right, it's decided then." The Cloud Dragon Valley Master and the others nodded. Farewell. After the sect master of the heavenly god sect finished speaking, he left with the remaining people of the Heavenly God sect. In this battle, the Tianshan sect had suffered heavy losses. An absolute saint had died, and the other experts had also suffered heavy losses. Their strength had been greatly reduced. The Jiuxiao Sword sect and the Evil Moon sect were slightly better off. Their absolute saints didn't die, but they had also lost many powerful figures of other levels. Everyone, farewell. We'll meet again in the future. The sect leader of the Jiuxiao Sword sect also left with his sect members, and so did the Evil Moon sect. In an instant, apart from the corpses strewn all over the ground, only Lu Ming and a few others were left in the huge Sky Demon sect. Lu Ming returned to Xian Yanqing's side. Xian Yanqing was still sitting cross-legged, but there was a demonic aura around her. This little girl is about to break through to the Saint Realm. The Ice Dragon Patriarch appeared beside Lu Ming and said. Lu Ming nodded. The few of you, return to your respective sects first. Join forces with the other sects in the Tsang region and make arrangements to annihilate evil spirit. Lu Ming and I will stay here and wait for this girl to break through. The Ice Dragon Patriarch said to the Ice Dragon Valley Master, the Life and Death Sword Sect Master, and the others. Everyone nodded. In the end, the Cloud Dragon Valley Master also stayed, while the Life and Death Sword Sect Master, Demon Castle's Castle Master, and Ice Dragon Valley Master left and returned to their respective sects to begin planning the annihilation of evil spirit. Chapter 1732 Chapter 1732 Suppressing Evil Spirit. After half a month, Xian Yanqing finally broke through to the Martial Saint Realm. After that, Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, the Ice Dragon Patriarch, and the Valley Master of Cloud Dragon Valley returned to Dragon God Valley. Lu Ming heard a lot of news as soon as he returned to Dragon God Valley. In the past half a month, news of the battle at the Tianyu demonic sect had spread throughout the Azure continent, shocking the world. After that, Dragon God Valley, Life and Death Sword sect, Demon Castle, and other sects gathered all the major sects in the Tsang state to join forces and annihilate the evil spirit cult. For a time, many responded. The Heavenly God sect, Jiuxiao Sword sect, and the Evil Moon sect responded one after another, joining the Alliance army to fight against evil spirit. After that, the Heaven King Palace, Linglong Palace, and Piyuan family, who had always been neutral, also joined the Alliance. At this point, the 9 great sects of the Azure continent had joined forces, and with the addition of other small and medium-sized powers, their strength was immense. During this period, the various sects had continuously sent out experts to investigate evil spirit's hiding place, preparing to destroy it in one fell swoop. Another half a month passed, and they finally found out where evil spirit was hiding. It was in a barren land north of the Azure continent. In a short time, the experts of the various large sects in the Azure continent gathered in the north. The Jiuxiao Sword sect was in the north, and the various superpowers gathered outside the mountain gate of the Jiuxiao Sword sect. Dragon God Valley was led by the Ice Dragon Patriarch and the Cloud Dragon Valley Master. They led a large number of experts to battle, while the Ice Dragon Valley Master guarded Dragon God Valley. Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing also set off with the army and joined the army. In Cloud Dragon Valley, second senior brother Long Yuan Shan stayed behind to hold the fort. Tian Chue and Xue Ningxin's cultivations were still weak, so they did not bring them along. As for Yang Tianzong, Lu Ming's fourth and fifth senior brothers, who were all saints, they would fight together. After a few days, they arrived outside the Jiuxiao Sword sect. Many people had gathered outside the Jiuxiao Sword sect. They were all experts from various sections. Even the weakest of them was a high-level martial royal realm expert. What was worth mentioning was that Bubble seemed to have gone into seclusion a few days ago. She had transformed into a ball of white light and enveloped herself like a cocoon. Lu Ming knew that Bubbles was about to break through. Lu Ming was secretly happy too. If Bubbles broke through to the Sage State with the space-time law, its power would be even more shocking. Outside the Jiuxiao Sword sect, more and more people gathered. After a few days, all 9 top sects had arrived. This time, each top sect sent 2 absolute saints. The 9 top sects added up to 18 absolute saints. In addition, there were even more supreme saints and light saints. Such a powerful force gathered together could sweep away all the sects in the Azure continent. In addition to half-saints and high-level martial royal realm experts, there were tens of thousands of them. All of them were elites, and more than half of the experts in the Azure continent were gathered here. Let's go! The Grandmaster of the Jiuxiao Sword sect hollered before taking the lead and flying north. Jiuxiao Sword Sect was located in the north and was the most familiar with the geography of the area. Hence, he asked Jiuxiao Sword Sect to lead the way. Tens of thousands of experts swept across the world with their terrifying auras. Lu Ming was secretly shocked. It was amazing that so many experts had gathered. If they joined forces, no one could stop them except for emperor-level experts. Very quickly, they flew into a vast mountain range. His eyes were wide and filled with shock. Then, a bloody gash appeared on his glabella, and his body was split apart from the middle. Everyone was shocked. An absolute saint had died just like that, killed by a single sword. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master and the other absolute saints' pupils constricted in disbelief. Absolute saint in the Great Circle. This middle-aged man, who was filled with the aura of an emperor, was actually an absolute saint in the Great Circle. How could the other party have such a powerful expert? The Azure Continent didn't even have an absolute saint in the Great Circle. Even the Ice Dragon Patriarch hadn't reached the Great Circle of the Absolute Saint realm after living for countless years. Lu Ming was even more shocked. He was very familiar with the man's temperament, which reminded him of Di. Yes, the other party's temperament was similar to Di Yi's and Di Xian, who had gone to the Divine Wilderness Continent. Di family, you are a Di family's man. Someone shouted. The hearts of many people trembled. The Di family was an emperor-ranked power located in the northwest of the Azure Continent. It seems that you guys have good eyesight. The noble middle-aged man spoke indifferently. His body emitted a golden radiance, and he looked down at his subjects like an emperor. Chapter 1733 Chapter 1733 Trap, Desperation Taoist brother of the Di family, why did you kill the people of my evil moon sect? Do you know that they are from evil spirit? The sect leader of the evil moon sect said. His heart was bleeding. An absolute saint had been killed just like that. What a great loss. A top sect didn't have many absolute saints. I naturally know. The noble middle-aged man said indifferently. Since you already know, why are you still helping the evildoers? The sect master of the evil moon sect shouted. Helping the evildoer? What a joke, come out. The noble middle-aged man said indifferently. Boom, boom, boom. At this moment, terrifying auras came from all directions. Golden sword lights shot up into the sky, stirring up the thick fog. Then, one figure after another appeared before everyone's eyes. He was dressed in a golden robe and had a jade crown on his head. He was filled with an air of nobility, and his temperament was very similar to that of the middle-aged man. The people of the Di family were all from the Di family, and there were more than 10,000 of them. Every one of them was emitting a terrifying qi. The number of bright saints and supreme saints was shocking. There were even more than a dozen absolute saints. 3 of them had the most terrifying auras. They were no weaker than the noble middle-aged man and were all in the absolute saint realm. In addition to the noble middle-aged man, there were a total of 4 absolute saints in the Great Circle. At this moment, the experts of the major sects all turned pale. They were surrounded. Your Di family has also joined evil spirit. Someone shouted. What do you mean by surrender? It's just cooperation. The noble middle-aged man said indifferently. I've said it before. You're the ones who will die today. Evil spirit will rule the Azure Continent. The sect master of the Sky Demon sect laughed. The hearts of Lu Ming and the rest sank. They understood that they had fallen into a trap. The other party was waiting for them to come. However, how could they have expected such a thing? How could they have expected that the Di family would also side with evil spirit sect and send out such a shocking force to destroy them in one fell swoop? Your Di family has sent so many experts to the Azure Continent. Aren't you afraid that the Cloud Emperor Mountain will take advantage of this? The Cloud Dragon Valley Master said, his brows tightly furrowed. Today, they were in trouble. The other party's strength was far above them. If they fought, they had no hope. The other party had 4 great beings in the Great Circle of the Absolute Saint Realm. 4 great beings in the Great Circle of the Absolute Saint Realm were enough to deal with all of the Absolute Saints. Furthermore, They didn't know if the other party had other great beings in the dark. It seems that you are still unwilling to give up. I will make you give up. The Cloud Emperor Mountain was destroyed by my D family half a month ago. Emperor Yun was killed by the martial sovereign of my family. The noble middle-aged man said. What? The Cloud Emperor Mountain has been destroyed. Emperor Yun was killed? How is that possible? That's a great emperor. Countless people exclaimed in disbelief. The Gray State, the Cloud State where the Cloud Emperor Mountain was located, and the Emperor State where the Di family was located. These three states were closely connected. The Cloud Prefecture was to the west of the Tsong Prefecture, while the Emperor Prefecture was to the northwest of the Tsong Prefecture. Other than that, there were no other emperor-ranked powers. That was because the Tsong Prefecture, the Emperor Prefecture, and the Cloud Prefecture were located in the middle of the Cloud Mountain Range. The terrain was flat and the original Qi was rich. The Cloud Mountain Range was vast and boundless. If a spirit or a spirit god had a restriction placed on them, they would really have no freedom at all and would have to obey evil spirit. All right, I'll give you 3 minutes to consider whether to surrender or not. Surrender and you'll live. If you don't, you'll die. The white-haired elder announced. Many people's faces were ugly. Their eyes flickered as they looked around. However, they had been completely surrounded. There were too many experts from the Di family and the original members of Evil Spirit. They had no chance. The difference was too great. It was impossible to break out of the encirclement. If they attacked, they would only die. As time passed, the atmosphere became more and more solemn. Very quickly, 3 minutes were about to pass. I'm willing to surrender. The entire Heavenly God sect is willing to surrender. A voice rang out. It was the sect master of the Tiantian sect. He was the first to speak. Good, a wise man knows when to act. You all step forward, I will set up a restriction on your soul or spiritual god. The skinny old woman spoke, her voice harsh and unpleasant. Although the sect master of the Tiantian sect was unwilling, he still led the experts of the Tiantian sect forward. The skinny old woman stepped down and stretched out her hand to touch the forehead of the sect master of the Heavenly God sect. Dense inscriptions entered the forehead of the sect master of the Heavenly God sect. There were still a few absolute saints in front of them, but they were pushed back. They didn't want to fight anymore. They rushed out of the crowd and flew away. Damn it, chase, quickly chase. The white-haired elder from Evil Spirit roared and was the first to give chase. The other 2 absolute saints from the Di family, as well as some other absolute saints, also rushed out and flew toward Lu Ming and the others. You guys, go after them too. The skinny old woman looked at the sect master and the others. The face of the sect master of the Heavenly God sect changed. Hurry up! The skinny old woman shouted. The sect master of the deity sect and the few absolute saints who were trapped by the restriction had no choice but to chase after Lu Ming and the rest. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master enveloped Lu Ming with his saint energy while the Ice Dragon Patriarch flew forward at top speed with Xian Yanqing. Lu Ming's gaze swept across the room and realized that the others had brought 1 person each. The sect leader of the Life and Death Sword sect brought a young man with him. Lu Ming was quite familiar with him. It was Luo Xiang. Another absolute saint of the Life and Death Sword sect also brought a young man. In addition, there were 2 absolute saints from Demon Castle, 2 absolute saints from the Sky King Palace, and 2 absolute saints from the Linglong Palace, each with 1 person. There were 10 absolute saints and 10 young men. Without a doubt, these young men were the most talented ones in their respective sections. Only by sending them out would they have hope in the future. You won't be able to escape, so surrender. A cold voice came from behind. It was the elder from Evil Spirit, the white-haired old man. Unfortunately, Lu Ming had used the last energy to kill an absolute saint in the Great Circle. As a result, he did not have enough energy to kill the white-haired elder. He could only injure him. The Reincarnation Emperor had once said that if the energy in the Reincarnation Halberd was fully unleashed, it could kill any expert below the Emperor level, even an Emperor-to-be. Of course, that was referring to the complete explosion of energy. Elder. At this moment, the experts of the Di family, the sect master of the Tiantian sect, and the others also arrived. They exclaimed in shock. What kind of weapon was in Lu Ming's hand? It was so terrifying that it could even injure an emperor-to-be. Previously, he had killed an absolute saint in the Great Circle with a single strike. This shocked them so much that they didn't dare to move forward. Let's go! At that moment, the Cloud Dragon Valley Master's holy power rolled up and enveloped Lu Ming. Everyone continued to fly forward. Don't let them get away! The white-haired old man shouted angrily, then sat down on the ground and began to heal his injuries. Chase! The Di family's experts, the sect master of the Tiantian sect, and the others continued to chase after Lu Ming and his group. Not long after, another tens of thousands of miles had passed. After all, the Cloud Dragon Valley Master and the others had brought one person with them. The distance between the two sides was slowly closing. However, they did not dare to make a move. Clearly, they were afraid of Lu Ming's reincarnation halberd. You guys attack first. An absolute saint in the great perfection of the Di family looked at the sect master of the Sky God sect and the others. Why should we make the first move? The expression of the Heavenly God sect's sect master changed drastically. If you don't attack, you'll die now. An expert from the Di clan coldly spoke. And NBSP, the sect master's face turned ugly, but they were being controlled by evil spirit and could only follow orders. Otherwise, the other party could kill them with a thought. Yun Ruoxu, Lu Ming, you'd better surrender. Evil spirit has its eyes on you. You can't escape. The sect master of the Heavenly God sect spoke. Even if we can't escape, we still have to escape. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master said. Stubborn. The sect master of the Tiantian sect looked gloomy. He took out a saint weapon and attacked the crowd from a distance. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master slashed out with his sword and sent the holy weapon flying. Following that, the other absolute saints, who were with the sect master of the Heavenly God sect, also took out their saint weapons to attack Lu Ming and the others. They were afraid of Lu Ming's halberd and did not dare to get close. We're getting close, attack with all your might. The Emperor family's expert coldly shouted. The sect master of the Tiantian sect had a cold expression on his face. He suddenly sped up and condensed a spear of divine punishment in his hand, stabbing it toward Lu Ming and the others. Get lost! The Valley Master of Cloud Dragon Valley slashed out with his sword, sending the sect master of the deity sect flying. Boom! An expert of the Emperor family flew up into the sky and slashed down with his sword. An astonishing sword light slashed down towards the crowd, and they joined forces to block the sword light. That brat's halberd should have some restrictions. He can't use it now. Suddenly, the sect master of the Heavenly God sect shouted. He recalled the time when he was in the Sky Demon sect. At the beginning, Lu Ming was also courageous and invincible. He had killed a few absolute saints in a row. However, in the end he had watched the sect master and the others leave and did not pursue them. If Lu Ming's halberd could be used indefinitely, why didn't he kill the sect master of the Sky Demon sect and the others back then? With a power that could severely injure an emperor-to-be just now, it was completely possible. Moreover, he was being attacked by them, yet he had not used it. It was clear that there were some restrictions that prevented him from using it. Lu Ming's expression changed. It seemed that he had been exposed. The Di family's warrior's eyes glowed as he shouted, "Let's attack together." Instantly, 2 absolute saints in the perfected stage and more than 10 absolute saints attacked at the same time. The terrifying attack swept toward Lu Ming and the others. Then, the 8 absolute saints split into 4 groups and ran in 4 directions. The Ice Dragon Patriarch and the Cloud Dragon Valley Master led Lu Ming and Xianyanqing in a group. The 2 absolute saints of the Life and Death Sword sect led Luo Xiang and the other 2 heaven's favorites in one group. The 2 great beings from the Linglong Palace formed another group. The Lord of the Demon Castle and the Lord of the Sky King Palace formed another group. Split up and chase. An absolute saint in the Great Circle roared. We can't let that Lu Ming go. He'll definitely be a big problem once he grows up. The sect master of the heavenly god sect shouted. Chase. The absolute saint in the Great Circle personally led a group of people to chase after Lu Ming and the others. The others split up and chased after the other groups. That expert in the Great Circle of the Absolute Saint realm has his eyes on us. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master's face was dark. With the combat power of the Cloud Dragon Valley Master and the Ice Dragon Patriarch, they were confident of escaping if there was no Absolute Saint in the Great Circle watching them. However, it would be difficult if an Absolute Saint was watching them. The two of them carried Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing as they flew at top speed. However, the other party was obviously faster and the distance between them was constantly closing. Master Patriarch, we must split up. At this moment, Lu Ming spoke. The enemy's target was obviously him. If they split up, Xian Yanqing's chances of escaping would be very high. If they worked together, it was very likely that none of them would be able to escape. Lu Ming, don't split up. Let's go together. Xian Yanqing said. How could she not know what Lu Ming was thinking? Lu Ming is right. We must separate. Patriarch, you take Yanqing and I'll take Lu Ming. Well, take as many as we can. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master said. All right. The Ice Dragon Patriarch was also very decisive and nodded directly. Lu Ming. Xian Yanqing was still reluctant. Let's go. Lu Ming roared. The Ice Dragon Patriarch grabbed Xian Yanqing with his huge claws. With a long roar, he separated from the Cloud Dragon Valley Master and flew in another direction. You guys go after that Ice Dragon. Leave these two to me. The Absolute Saint in the Great Circle ordered the other Absolute Saints to chase after the Ice Dragon Patriarch, while the Great Being in the Great Circle continued to chase the Cloud Dragon Valley Master and Lu Ming. Lu Ming secretly heaved a sigh of relief. With the Ice Dragon Elder's combat strength, as long as he wasn't up against a perfected Absolute Saint, there was a high chance that he would be able to escape. The Absolute Saint was indeed staring at him. This was also the reason why Lu Ming did not use the mountain and river diagram to store other people. If he put the others into the mountain and river diagram, the other party would be less of a target. They would only need to keep an eye on him. In that case, they would not be able to escape. As long as he could capture Lu Ming, he would be able to wipe them out. The best way was to split up. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master brought Lu Ming along and transformed into a beam of sword light. In the blink of an eye, they traveled 1,000 miles, and the endless mountains beneath their feet swept past. You can't escape. Since your combat strength is not bad, you should surrender obediently. Otherwise, only death awaits you. The Supreme Saint of the Di family said coldly. His body seemed to have turned into a golden sword light, breaking through the air at an amazing speed. Even if the Cloud Dragon Valley Master tried his best, he was unable to pull away. Instead, the distance between the two sides was getting closer and closer. Behind them, the Di family's expert slashed out a sword light towards Lu Ming and the other man. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master waved his sword to block it. With a clang, the Cloud Dragon Valley Master's body trembled and his face turned pale. However, he still used this force to fly forward for 100 miles. Master, Lu Ming was worried. I'm fine. Ninglu, you go first. I'll block him. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master sent a voice transmission to Lu Ming. What? Lu Ming's heart trembled. No, this person is too powerful. He's a perfected Absolute Saint. I can't let Master stay here alone. If the Cloud Dragon Valley Master stayed behind to stop the other party, the odds would be against him. Lu Ming would never agree to that. Ming, there's only hope as long as you escape. Now, your senior brothers and so many people from Dragon God Valley have fallen into the hands of evil spirit cult. Dragon God Valley will definitely not be safe from now on. Your only hope now is on you. With your talent, you will definitely rise in the future and destroy evil spirit cult and the Di family. If you're also caught, then there's really no hope at all. Do you understand? The Cloud Dragon Valley Master continued to transmit his voice. Chapter 1739. 1739. Heading to ancient Moon Holy Land. After parting ways with Zifeng, Lu Ming changed his appearance again and headed west. Now, he planned to go from the west, pass through the Cloud Plain, enter the Cloud Sea Mountain Range, and head to the ancient Moon Holy Land. A few days later, Lu Ming arrived at the western part of the Azure region and entered the Cloud region. After some time, Lu Ming arrived near the Cloud Emperor Mountain. The Cloud Emperor Mountain has collapsed. Lu Ming muttered with a complicated look in his eyes. In the distance, the majestic Cloud Emperor Mountain collapsed. It was as if it had been struck by a boundless power. Here, an Emperor-level battle occurred. Emperor Yun was killed and the Cloud Emperor Mountain collapsed. Lu Ming sighed. An Emperor-level force had been destroyed just like that. Even a martial emperor had been killed. The Yuan continent was too big and there were countless forces. This kind of thing probably happened everywhere. Even if one cultivated to the rank of a martial supreme, it was not guaranteed that one would be safe. There would always be someone stronger than one. Unless one had the combat strength to dominate the world, one might fall at any time. Lu Ming did not stay any longer. He took a few glances and left the place, heading west. What? Soon after, Lu Ming's eyes flickered. There was a group of people flying in front of them. There were about a dozen of them, and they were all wearing golden robes. They were filled with a noble aura, like emperors among people. Lu Ming was very familiar with one of the young men, Emperor Xian. Back then, Di Xian had brought people into the divine wilderness to help Di. He wanted to kill Lu Ming, but in the end, most of his subordinates were killed by Lu Ming and he had to retreat in embarrassment. He didn't expect to meet Di Xian here. After so many years, Di Xian's cultivation had already broken through the Martial Royal Realm and was now at LV5 Martial Royal Realm. Among the dozen of people, there were 2 at the Saint Realm and the rest were high-level Martial Royal Realm. Since we've met him, we should get rid of him and get rid of any future trouble. Otherwise, who knows when this guy will run to the Divine Wilderness continent to seek revenge. There was a cold glint in Lu Ming's eyes. Lu Ming took a step forward and walked towards the dozen D family members. Who is it? A Saint Stage powerhouse looked at Lu Ming with a sharp gaze. The person who will kill you. A combat sword appeared in Lu Ming's hand and he slashed. A terrifying sword light flashed and the saint was killed in one strike without any chance to fight back. Not good, quickly call for help. Someone exclaimed. Kill. Lu Ming's combat sword swept across the sky. Given these people's combat strength, they could not stop Lu Ming at all. They were too far behind. With a slash of the sword, almost all of them were killed. Only one person was still alive, and that was Di Xian. At this moment, Di Xian was completely stunned. He stood in the air, his body trembling uncontrollably. He broke out in a cold sweat and looked at Lu Ming in horror. Brother, let's talk this out. Please spare my life. You are from the Cloud Emperor Mountain, right? Please leave. I will never tell anyone about this. I'm not from the Cloud Emperor Mountain. Lu Ming said. Not from the Cloud Emperor Mountain? Di Xian was stunned for a moment. He thought that it was the missing fish from the Cloud Emperor Mountain who had come back for revenge. It turned out that he was not from the Cloud Emperor Mountain. You're so fast. Don't you remember me? Lu Ming sneered and his appearance returned to normal. It's you? Di Xian's pupils constricted as he recognized Lu Ming. He had not expected that before he could go to the Divine Wilderness continent to look for Lu Ming had already arrived. It's said that each of them is as beautiful as a fairy, like a goddess who has descended to the mortal world. Furthermore, they are extremely talented and have profound cultivation. If they can become Tao protectors, wouldn't that be a wonderful thing? Su Ran's eyes were already shining as he spoke. Lu Ming smiled faintly. He was not in the mood to look at beautiful women now. Immediately, Lu Ming and Su Ran walked towards the teleportation array of Blood Jade Palace. They stepped onto the teleportation formation and left Blood Jade Palace. Not long after, they appeared in an ancient city. This place was not Guyu Holy Land, but an ancient city outside Guyu Holy Land. The various Emperor-ranked powers could not directly teleport to Ancient Moon Holy Land. They could only teleport to the ancient city outside Ancient Moon Holy Land, and then set out from the ancient city to Ancient Moon Holy Land. Lu Ming and Su Ran did not stay in the ancient city. They flew directly to the Ancient Moon Sanctuary. Not long after, a vast mountain appeared in front of them. The peaks rose into the sky like sharp swords. From afar, it was boundless and magnificent. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.